I will do that. Didn't pop up on their announcement thingy. That's fine. Chromatic Chimera Twitch. Let's go. Oh my gosh, it's cute! It says Awaken Pixels starting soon. It has a little... It's very cute. Oh my god, when they can hear us.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. We're all good.
I think we're okay.
I think we're good.
Gray, are you okay?
No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you through the stream.
Oh.
That's really bad because that means my entire can. How about now?
Let me turn you back up.
This is me doing my spiel again because I think I wasn't.
Oh no, you're good. We're good now. Sorry.
We're good now.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. All good. Final Fantasy is adorable. Final Fantasy is adorable. Yes.
So I was muted for all that. Let me start again. Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's us, Chance Encounters. We are back with a new project. This is Awakened Pixels. It is going to be a sort of more silly, more serialized form of what we're used to doing. And we're going to be playing Fate Accelerated. And my amazing players, say hello, amazing players.
Hello again.
Are going to be playing. Oh, you already said hello, didn't you? Well,
Yeah.
do it again. They're going to be playing NPCs in a old school fantasy RPG, such as Final Fantasy, such as Dragon's Quest, such as any of those good old things where you heard a bunch of chiptunes and fought a bunch of pixels. Yeah, so welcome everybody. We're very excited to start this new project. I'm going to turn myself down just a tiny bit. And if everybody is good to go, we can begin. Are we all good, everybody?
I am. Yeah.
I think we are.
Let me just make sure I'm not about to bring my notes on the main page. I am. There they are. Whoops. Let me figure out how to. I'm just gonna be quick. I'll just be super quick. Hi-ya! Okay. My entire plot line was just on the screen, so nobody look at that. Nobody pause it.
Guys,
no.
guys, pause and go tell us what the plot is.
No, don't.
No.
All right. So, we begin in the lands of Phantasria. It is the most generic and archetypical fantasy landscape that you can possibly imagine. You see the desert region, the forest region, the oceans of a pure blue, beautiful green grass meadows where surely the player characters start out when they are at a low level. You see the evil, dark Badlands with this terrible fog constantly spewing over it. You see jungles, you see a volcano, you see elemental temples, you see spires and ruins piercing through the landscape. But the place that we go to first is a land known as the Blightlands. This is a place that has been corrupted by darkness, and it is currently inhabited by the leaders of the forces of chaos, capital C. We see completely blasted, scorched earth, trees that are dead and withered, no plant life, no living things apart from the hordes of monsters that rove through this land, keeping it safe from would-be heroes and adventurers who would dare step in this place. And on a nearby mountainside, there is a terrible shadow cast by a very sinister fortress. Spikes protruding everywhere, its walls made of obsidian and adamant. And as we get closer to this fortress, there is a large, beautiful window in one of the tallest towers. And inside that window is a beautifully decked throne room, lit with torchlight, purple, and deep shadows filling the chamber. On a vile throne sits none other than the Vile Lord himself, a truly despicable humanoid, dressed in beautiful finery with a sinister cloak on his back, and he is sort of sitting a bit relaxed, holding a glass of something in one hand, and we hear the sound of doors flying open. And in storms a very large, brutish figure, decked out in heavy metal armor, spikes all over the place. No view of this person other than a small glint of light of where their eyes are underneath their visor. This is the Vile Lord's enforcer, and his name is Tinsel. And Tinsel is walking in to the throne room, and he has in his hand a heavy chain that he is pulling with very little courtesy. And behind him, wrapped in these chains, is a pair who are dressed very elegantly, to a crown donned upon each of their heads. This is the king and queen of Phantasria, and they have been kidnapped. Tinsel stalks his way across a beautiful velvet carpet towards the throne of the Vile Lord, and he has a nice amount of fanfare as various guards in the room slam their halberds on the ground. And the Vile Lord cocks his head up ever so slightly, and he says, "Ah, Tinsel, I see you have been successful. I trust that there was no sign of those bothersome light-sworn heroes." And the form of Tinsel moves very little as he responds and says, "None, O great Vile Lord. My forces carved through the castle defenses with little issue." And you can see that the Vile Lord stands from his grand throne, and he puts his glass of whatever he is drinking down on the side and takes a few steps down, getting closer to Tinsel and his captives. And the Vile Lord speaks, and he says, "Well, how does it feel, royal family? Your heroes have abandoned you, and soon your entire kingdom will fall to the forces of chaos." And the king and queen say in unison, "You'll never get away with this, Vile Lord." To which he responds, "Oh, but I already have! Take them to the dungeons." And you can see that Tinsel says, "At once, my lord." And he pulls upon this heavy chain and drags the king and queen off to a side door. As he leaves, the sound of heavy footsteps slowly echoes, gets quieter, and disappears entirely until there is a loud at the door closing behind them, leaving the throne room completely enveloped in a very tense silence. And then the Vile Lord speaks, turning around to his wretched council who stand at the side of his throne. And he says, "Okay, but seriously, where are these Lightsworn heroes? I really feel like we had this vibe going. Me trying to take over the world, them trying to stop me. We had a good dynamic. Things are really heating up. Now they've just up and left. What is going on? What is going on?" And this hunched, rather sinister and lithe-looking figure standing next to the throne, wearing a large-brimmed, very pointed black hat, speaks. And she says, "My lord, is this not a good thing? You are free to continue your evil plan. Without the light-sworn heroes, the forces of chaos are practically unopposed." Don't get me wrong, wicked witch. I'm not complaining. And the Vile Lord goes back up to his throne and sits with a bit of a pout. And he says, It's a little rude is all." The wicked witch moves very little, but leans closer to her lord and says, "Regardless, if they won't even stand in defense of the royal family, then there is nothing we can't get away with. We can continue with your world domination plan." The Vile Lord's eyes widen ever so slightly, and he says, yes, yes, that plan, of course. And the witch says, yes. And he says, but maybe we should find the Lightsworn heroes first, just to, make sure they aren't planning some sort of devious trap or trying to lure me out of Doomhold. My lord, it really feels like they're gone for good, and this dark witch walks up to a wide window overlooking much of the kingdom of Phantasria, and she says, this is an unusual time. The land is sick. This alien force that plagues us, this Maya, appears to be wreaking havoc across the land. Yes, I have to say I'm not thrilled that there's some chaotic force out there ruining things all over the place. I feel like as the forces of chaos, they really had ownership over that whole approach. You understand what I'm saying here? So what is our next step, my lord? This is an unprecedented time, and I'm not one to be caught unprepared. If the forces of chaos are to dominate the world, we need to do it right. Bring me one who has answers. It will be done, my lord. And we are jettisoned from this throne room, flying across the vast expanse of the varied biomes of Phantasria, and we fly across to the beautiful verdant green lands, and there is a small port town. This is a town known as Rivershade. It is utterly unremarkable, other than the fact it has a dock. A lot of villages in this world don't. Otherwise, it is the most standard town you could possibly come across in a landscape such as this. And we go to a tavern called the Got What You Need Tavern. And inside this place, there is a warm hearth, glowing bright. There are various NPCs sitting at tables, drinking from their cups, following their animations in proper timing. But there are two rather unusual figures that stand out in this tavern, because there is a fairy and a corgi, both sitting on stools at the end of the bar, and they are chatting to the barkeeper. And the barkeeper is saying, look, listen, I'm telling you, I don't have a map. Nobody in these lands has a map. You know how hard maps are to find? There's about one in the entire world. What do you want from me?
But you got what we need, and we need a map.
I know.
So you're a liar.
No, now hold on. Listen, I might not have what you need right now, but I can try and find something. Times are changing a little bit. I'm finding that business is it might be booming very soon. I have a good feeling about that. If you give me some time, I might be able to track down a map, if the GP is good.
One moment. Okay, so we have a problem. I don't have any money.
Have any money either.
They're not just gonna. Oh, this is bad. I have money, but the money is at home, and I'm not home, and I am here. So that's the situation. Okay. I mean, I guess we can order it and then find money.
That's true. We can do payment on delivery. I mean, and normally, like, according to the walkthrough posted by, what was it, Legends Lord 420, like, the map's just kind of picked up as you go. I don't know. Like, this is highly unusual.
You have the weirdest friends. They have such cool names.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call them friends, but sure, yeah.
My name's Barman, by the way.
Barman.
Barman the barman.
Barman the barman. Will you accept payment on delivery, since we haven't seen that you can produce a map yet?
That doesn't sit right with me. That doesn't sit right with me at all. We could do a half now, half upon delivery kind of deal. How's that?
Sounds like you're still a liar, since what we need is payment on delivery.
Well,
I mean, it's not like you have to worry about us skipping town because we don't have the merchandise yet.
it's true. And if anybody even tries to skip down, they just get slaughtered by monsters immediately, so it's really,
Yeah.
And at that time, you hear the sound of the door to the tavern fly open. And you see a silhouette of a rather sort of powerful, imposing figure wearing a beautiful dress, stalking in, wielding 2 blades, one in each hand, covered in pixels of blood, grime all over her. But both of you immediately recognize this as Princess Kiwi, one of the members of the royal family of Phantasria. And as you walk in, Princess Kiwi, Barman kind of looks up and gestures in your location, and he says, you're back. Need another night's stay in the royal suite to recover from some wounds? Anything I can get you? Some healing potions? You find any treasure out there?
Not today, barman. Not today. Another room is all.
Can be done.
Do you think
You know what?
she has
I'll take a drink
money?
too.
One drink
She
coming up.
might. Or maybe she has a map. Her dress is really frilly.
And very,
Bloody. Which is
Bloody.
kind of neat.
it's an odd juxtaposition. I just want to say that. I mean, is this gonna be another person who just says, do you know that you can press X to jump over and over again? Because that was
You
the
can jump?
conversation.
Impressive.
Let's not get started on that again.
No, that's a bad topic. It
Bad
just goes in a
topic.
loop. I can't take it anymore. I can't do another jumping conversation.
I turn around to see a fairy and a corgi, and that's. Oh, hi.
Do you have money and or a map?
I'm gonna say no to both of those because
Oh.
generally you don't just tell strangers that you have money.
Oh.
Um,
Oh.
although I am quite obviously the princess. Is there something you needed? The money and the map?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't have those, sadly.
Oh.
At least not to hand out to just random people.
Well,
do
I'm
you
not a
have-
random person. I am one of the summons of the Lightsworn Heroes, and something went wrong, and I need to get home, because the magic didn't work, and now I'm just stuck here.
Wait. Do you have anything to say about, like, doing things or, like, anything to hand me right now? Or are you, like,
No.
Thinking.
No. We're not on the loop.
both of you? Really?
Have you also been having the jumping conversations?
So many jumping conversations.
Oh,
The weirdest thing is that they tell you how to jump, but none of them jump.
no, they can't. It's insane. They can't swim either.
Also, I don't need to jump. Why do they keep telling me this?
Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've had, like, a conversation. I guess because before that, conversations didn't happen before, but it's nice to actually have a real conversation with you guys right now. That's
It's
lovely.
very nice, yes. I was stuck in Riversdale for I don't know how long. I think my time mechanic is broken, but a very long time, and it was not fun. And then I met Rosalind, and I can talk to her. She's not
Oh,
crazy.
I'm Princess Kiwi. I go by Bane now, just so you know. You can call me Bane. I'm trying to, like, test those waters.
Whoa. That's such a cool name.
That's a
Hi,
very
Bane.
badass name.
Thank you. And you two are...
I'm Rosalind. And
I'm
this is my
Stoobs.
steed.
I'm Stoobs.
Stoops the Steed.
Stoob's the
Yes.
steed.
Lovely. Cool. Nice to meet you both. And I'll hold out a hand towards, I guess, either
I
Rosalind
shake
first if she has
with
hands.
my little paw.
You hear a bzz, bzz as you do so. And there's a little plus that goes up with a little heart. Just ba-da-dee.
So, money and a map. What are those for?
At home.
To get home. Where exactly are
Oh,
you from?
Theron, you don't know about it because we're hidden away for centuries.
Cool. If you're hidden, I don't think any like map is gonna show that quite well. Just
Oh,
You see that some rather large, a large burly man kind of comes up next to you at the bar and just kind of like stands there awkwardly, and he says, "I've heard some interesting rumors lately," and then just proceeds to stand there.
we know you have.
sometimes they're new, and I will do whatever action is necessary to hear these rumors.
You just need to talk to the guy.
What are the rumors?
He just abruptly turns to the princess, and he says, "I hear the elves of Elfwood are very reclusive."
Thanks for that. My
Yeah,
It's not really a rumor, that's kind of just a cultural fact.
yeah.
my loyal subjects.
When you say that to him, Stoobs, he turns to you lightning quick and says, "Did you know you could press the jump button to jump?" And Bomber comes over and says, all right, take your drink and get out of here, you robot. Get out of here, go. And the man kind of like turns to him and says, "I hear that the Oracle in Elfwood can..." And then turns around and leaves.
Wait, the Oracle thing was
That
new.
was- That's new.
That was new. That
Bauman-
definitely wasn't Jerry is stuck in the well.
Barman says, "Oh, surely you've heard the Oracle one. We've all heard it."
Does the Oracle know how to find places?
Yeah, the Oracle can answer any question you have. That's what the Oracle does.
Where's the Oracle?
Well, Elfwood, but nobody can get to Elfwood, so it's all, pointless even talking about it.
If we had a map, we could get to Elfwood.
Why can no one get to Elfwood? I know I should know because, like, I'm, like, a ruler here, but, like, why can't we exactly?
If I recall, the Lightsworn heroes had to find an ancient tablet in the ruins of Moonhaven Hold. They even stand a chance at finding Elfwood on their own.
Right, of course.
Well,
Where's
because-
Runehaven Hold?
What, Moonhaven Hold?
Yes.
Let's see. Down the way, across the river. I think they already cleared it out. I don't know if there's any treasure there. But if you're trying to get through the Verdant Wood to find Elfwood, the Verdant Forest to find Elfwood, then you're going to need that tablet. No, never mind.
Barman,
Hey?
Barman,
Yes,
finish that sentence, please.
that's my name. Well, here's the thing. How about we throw in some quid pro quo here? I could help you out, and you help me out a little bit. How's that sound?
Or you could tell us what we want to know, and I don't eat everything in this place that's made of peanut butter.
He says, "All right. Let's not get violent here, you little dog. Why don't you, Stoobs, go ahead and make our first roll of the game, which is your dog intimidating this man. So make a forceful roll.
Okay.
I'll say the difficulty is 2 for this, to intimidate Barman. Insufficient.
That's
If you would like, you or any player can spend a fate point to invoke an aspect, and the only ones really available to you right now are your own character aspects. Refer to your sheet for those. But if you want, you can spend a fate point to invoke one of those to get a bonus. Otherwise, we can just continue.
I really don't have anything other than maybe my trouble aspect, which is literally a dog.
That would only work against you, I think.
Okay,
He
but
says,
yeah, it just
"Listen,
fails.
All right, listen, Fourlegs. If you start trouble in here, you know you're just going to make the gods spawn and just obliterate everything in here. So why don't we keep it cordial?"
Okay, yeah, fine. All right. What do you want?
I noticed that the three of you are somewhat a little bit more autonomous than the others around these parts, and that works very well for me, because I'm always looking for folks who can help me get things, as it were. Sure, I can sell drinks. Sure, I can sell rooms. There's so much more out there. I didn't even realize until recently. I can start an entire business empire. But I gotta start somewhere. Here's the thing. We got a troll overlooking the cliffs of this village. Lightsworn Heroes said they take it out. They never did. I figure they have to have some pretty good treasure up there. Go up there, give me that treasure, come back. I'll offer you some advice to help out.
Okay.
Can I do a quick Google search to see what level this troll is?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is very specific, so it's going to be difficulty 4, but you can use your
Okay.
stunt, which is looking up stuff like this. So roll
Yes.
clever and then add an additional 2.
Okay. 3, 5.
5. Okay. You dive into the archives of knowledge that you have access to ever since your awakening, and you locate stats for the Troll of Rivershade. And as far as you can tell, this is a fairly straightforward quest. There's only one real bit of opposition, and that is the Troll. A bit beefy, a bit strong, but nothing that well-equipped heroes couldn't handle.
Okay. I think we can do this. Hey, Bane, how are your stats looking?
Ask those 259 rats that I just killed.
You take a glance into Bane's meager inventory, and it's just stack after stack of 99 rat tails.
Whoa! Oh, there's so many rats!
Yeah, they pretty much surround every village and. want
So
them to get
are you
through.
just like an extermination service? Like
You were just trying
No.
to get somewhere.
I have like a lot of things going on right now, and I just need help. I'm trying to find the Lightsworn heroes so I can go save. Never mind. Is it public knowledge that the royal family has been kidnapped?
No, it is
Yeah.
not.
Those guys have been missing for a while, and they need to be found. Am I right? Because that's important.
Barman kind of like cleans some buckets. Has got to stop those forces of chaos. I tell you.
Right. Right.
Well, I last saw them outside of a dingy cave, and then the magic broke.
where's the what cave?
I don't know, it was gross.
How long ago was that?
There was no flowers there.
No flowers.
Did you?
Um
How long ago was that? Like, how far did you
Well,
travel?
so the problem is that time is weird. So let me think about it. I think it was day, but this cave was dark, so it's hard to tell, right? Because so the time doesn't really change in the cave. You have to go outside to make the sky go blue and then black, then blue and then black. So I was there for a while, and then when I went out, it was blue, and then I walked to this village, and it was black again. So I can at least say one day, but I don't know how long I spent in the cave waiting. But it's okay, because, you know, there wasn't any flowers, but there was rocks, and rocks are sort of, kind of, near what flowers are.
I'm gonna be honest, I got mega lost in just like all of that.
I get
But
lost
cool.
a lot, too. I'm lost right now.
this is why we need the map. Because with that description, I would have to watch approximately 700 hours of tutorials. And I don't know if I have an attention span that long.
See, now I'm lost in all of that. I don't know what those are exactly.
I think
But
Tutorial's one of her
700
friends.
hours is like a
She
lot.
has a lot of friends.
Yes, I have a lot of friends. One of my friends is the internet, and another friend is Wi-Fi.
Don't know
Sometimes
what
she
those
yells
are.
at the Wi-Fi friend.
Barman kind of like sits back and goes, "Well, she's a talking dog, so you know, can't expect normal things."
Right, fairy and talking dog, perfect traveling companions. So why don't we kill this troll? We go to the Oracle, and we can, you know, figure all these things out as we go. Small
Would
team
be
up,
good, yeah.
just for
yeah.
now.
Sure.
Have I figured out how to create a party?
You haven't, but when you finish your sentence, you see another plus with another heart kind of just appear, And during that second, you hear ba-ba-da-bum! And it says party composition unlocked.
What are our roles in the little drop-down menu? I need to know.
It's currently, you are designated as Sign. That's S-I-G-N. You are designated, Summon. And Princess, you're designated NPC.
Lovely. Lovely.
All right.
Wait, do you guys like do things? Can you so I have my swords. Are you going to be able to stab the troll when we get there, or is it more of like you guys sit back and I stab him a bunch?
I have a stick I found outside.
It's a very good stick. It is a +1 stick. We don't know +1 to what.
It's leveled up. I'm proud of it.
Great. Cool.
I can tell you where to hit it to make it die easier.
If you
That
get
sounds
poisoned
really useful.
or fall asleep, I can make you not be poisoned and or fall asleep.
That also sounds really useful. Could have used you a week ago when I was poisoned and fell asleep. But now I'm fine. Everything's great. Cool. Let's go.
Okay, you exit the tavern. Barman says, "Best of luck, adventurers," and you leave. And you begin to make your way following the sort of blocky stone pathway that leads out of Rivershade, and you head in the direction of an area where you can climb up the cliffs to make it to where this troll supposedly rests. As you're moving along, you are just buffeted by random encounter after random encounter. It is very low-level stuff we're talking about here. Some slimes attack you, a few more rats here and there. It gets to the point where you can kind of just brush them to one side, and that's enough damage to just make them disappear and give you a little bit of XP. So as you're moving along, making your way through these things, you get a feeling like for the area you're in, you aren't underpowered by it.
Okay.
Now, to ascend the cliff, are you going to climb up the side? Are you going to look around for a way that leads up to it? Are you going to use some other tricks that you have?
I say we just go for it. Climbing.
Fairy. I can fly.
Go straight through. Well, yeah. She can fly.
I'm gonna need an assist.
That's true. My steed can't go upwards.
Could I have found some rope in an urn or something? I'll just pull that off my horse. And can I just I don't know, wrap you around me or something?
I have a question. Since I've been awakened, can I be picked up?
No.
No.
Indeed, Bane, when you try to use rope on Stoobs, it says this doesn't do that.
Oh, cool.
And you hear a merp merp.
Try just walking. Can you just try walking up? I know it
How
won't.
vertical is this cliff?
It
Or
is 90 degrees sheer cliff.
All right, sure. Let's possess this. I'm just gonna
Just
try
jump.
to go straight up.
Jump while you do it really fast.
All right,
We
Stoobs.
prepared so much for this jumping. Everyone keeps telling us about it. This is where it all pays off.
I try to double jump.
Okay,
Double
Stoobs, you were just going straight for it. Let's see, what approach is this? This is just you're just kind of buckling down. I guess forceful.
Forceful, yeah.
So make a forceful roll. We'll say against difficulty 3 to climb this completely sheer cliff.
That is not good.
Okay, you kind of make the physics engine hiccup a little bit, and you sort of keep jumping and jumping against it a little bit, but eventually you fall back down to the ground.
Yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. We're gonna need to find a way around.
Okay.
Do you have a map? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I need one because I do, but no, I don't.
Yeah. So, okay, huh.
Is there like a pathway that goes up? Like, is there a sway back kind of a thing?
You would have to kind of enter into a heavily forested area to get good info on that.
You just know there's going to be an encounter in there. We should.
But there might be some flowers.
There could be
I
some
want to go.
good
I want
loot.
to go.
Okay, cool. Let's do this. And I like flourish my sword. Flip.
Do you want me to see if there's anything super dangerous in there, or I mean, I can try.
It'll be. You can. It's
Give
not
me
going
a
to change that we
second.
have to fight it if
Look.
there is.
Let me ask my friends, and I would like to do a quick reference roll.
Okay, while you're doing that, Bane, as you do your sword flourish, you suddenly realize that you've unlocked a new animation for yourself. Cool sword
Ooh.
flourish.
Dope. Awesome. And I just continue to do the.
You just do it again and again and again and again. It's really cool.
Oh wait,
Alright,
that
so
didn't roll it.
So just roll clever.
What's another 2?
So 4.
So 4. Yes.
Sorry, what was
4.
what info were you trying to get?
I am trying to figure out, like, if we go through this forest, is there going to be something super beefy in there, or like I know that there's. You said that only the troll was kind of like the big thing, but is there something that's kind of deceptive
Like a
or anything
secret
up
mini
ahead?
boss.
Yeah.
You know that this forest is well known for a popular random encounter with the merchant.
The merchant.
What do I know about this merchant?
With your role, you know that they are a mysterious, enigmatic being that seemingly can appear at any time, any place.
Okay. The merchant might show up. I'm not 100% sure who that is or what he does. I mean, I assume he sells things, however, he might be a little shady. So, let's
Well-
proceed with caution.
We have no gold, so this is going to be no point if we
true.
see him.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Maybe you could sell all the rats.
That's true.
That's a good point. Never thought about doing that. I've never needed
Have
to
you-
sell anything before, so
You've
just
just been carrying around a bunch of rat tails?
They kind of just popped into your inventory. You didn't have much
I mean,
choice.
I don't like go out of my way to collect them like individually. They just kind of appear in my pockets.
Ew,
Okay.
that's really gross.
Do they
Yeah.
decompose?
This game is not advanced enough for that. For a decomposition mechanic. It's barely holding everything together.
Well,
All right,
maybe we'll
so
get
our
some
plan,
money then.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All
our
right.
plan, if we see the merchant, we throw tails at him and see if he'll give us money.
Yes. This
So
is a
you-
good
Pretty much.
plan.
That's the gist of it.
You begin your march into this heavily wooded area near the base of the cliff, trying to find some kind of way that leads up. And as you go, Rosalind, you do see there are many beautiful flowers here of various colors and types. And when you run through them, they kind of go a little bit as well, which is more interaction than you get on most things in this world. So it's truly quite lovely. Yeah, and as you're going along, there's this sort of weird, just feeling in the air, and it's hard to describe. There's just this kind of like everything around you has just become a bit inscrutable, and you can't really tell where you are or what's happening for a second. And you snap around, and you see a figure, a robed figure. You can't see their face, just a sort of a black void there, and they're wearing this kind of like green, black, and purple cloak, and they are just sort of holding the side of their head and sitting on a stump, and just going,
I feel it in my tail nub that this is not good.
Are you okay, mister?
And they kind of look in your direction and they say, "Who can say anymore? I don't fully know if I'm handling what's happening to me right now very well. I don't have a name."
Oh, he's one of us. Okay.
That's,
Wait, that was
Welcome
oddly
to
specific.
the club.
Oh, there's more. That's both comforting and terrible at the same time.
Oh, well, we have names, but we are also self-aware.
Yes.
Are
We
you
do
the
have names.
merchant?
Yeah. Please don't call me that. I need a name.
Okay.
I
You
need
can
a
just
name.
pick one. There's lots of names.
There's a lot of names.
There are. There's so many. How did I end up with the name Merchant? There are 1,000 million names, and I ended up with the name Merchant.
Look,
Ugh.
buddy, it's not that hard. I picked a name like an hour into this. You'll be fine.
Well, I'm glad you're taking it well. I'm having a bit of an existential crisis right now, and I didn't even know what one of those was a few moments ago. So give me some time to process.
How long have you been processing?
A while.
Get it
Oh.
together. Gosh.
I don't think I want to be part of your club.
I mean, whether you like it or not, we're probably some of the only people, other than Barman, that you can have an actual conversation with. So,
Is Barman a barman?
yes.
Yeah.
This world. Ugh.
He's
See,
handling
he just
it
kind
pretty
of
well.
adopted it. He's like
Yeah.
flourishing, kind of.
Well,
That's-
good for him, I suppose.
you seem like
I-
a Lenny.
No, do not call me Lenny.
No.
No. Listen, as far as I understand it, my purpose is to steal things to the Lightsworn heroes, except I haven't seen hide nor hair of them for what feels like eons. So beyond that, I don't have a purpose anymore. Would you like to buy something or sell something?
Oh, we
Is
have
this-
a bunch of rat tails.
You have a lot of rat tails.
Okay, I can tell you right now, those aren't worth much. How many do you have?
Didn't you say like
One.
250 or something?
Well, I've killed a lot of rats. 539.
Somebody's been grinding. Okay, we can do
Yeah.
business. That's a nice. That price range. I have two things that I can offer you.
Is it a
Uh,
map?
A map? Goodness, no, you don't find a map in a regular merchant stall. A map is a one-of-a-kind thing. Are you mad? Sorry. Ugh. Still getting used to the rules.
Are these rules that you've been aware of or just are popping into your head, like right
It's
now?
Coming in flashes, it's really quite
Yeah.
disorienting.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. For those rat tails, I can give you one of these. And they open up after their robe, and you see just like where their body is, it's just a void. But on the inside of the robe, you see what looks like a potion that's sort of glowing orange, and you also see this belt that's kind of like wrapped up. And the merchant says, "This is a potion of fire resistance. Can be, life-saving in the right situation. And this is a belt of jumping. It doubles your jump height. I feel compelled to tell you how to jump, but I'm not
Please
going to."
don't.
Please don't.
Please don't.
I'm
We've had this
resisting.
conversation so many times.
And you can see as this merchant person is resisting the urge to tell you about how to jump properly, there is this sudden just kind of like shake throughout the entire world. And you see that one of the trees nearby just turns into a massive broom. Just sticking out the ground, bristles up, and the instability of the region is decreased by one.
Is that new?
That
Not a
did
bush.
not.
Well, that's new. I wonder
Yeah.
if we
What just
plant
happened?
it,
Did I
it'll
just
make
sneeze?
more.
Yeah.
Do we have an understanding of the fact that like his decision directly related to that? Like,
Entirely up to how sort of aware you think your character is in that moment.
No, Rosalind wants to know if she can plant it and make more.
Do you want to like try and chop down the broom and have a broom to
No, I'm like looking at it, inspecting it.
like the
trying
scale
to...
of this broom is far too large. Like no person could use this. It's the size of a tree. It's just plunged into the ground where a tree would be.
Hopefully.
Where
I'm
it
gonna
was.
assume that no one has seen something like that before.
Merchant speaks
Yeah.
up and says, "I've seen a bit of it every now and then. Weird things are happening, and I don't know what's going on. I reckon the forces of chaos have this new magic, and it's bad."
You know, all my siblings are named after flowers. You could be called Broomtree.
Broom tree. Broom tree.
Broomtree, Broomtree, Broomtree.
I like it.
actually
Broom
doesn't
tree.
sound bad. Yeah,
All right.
nice
Each their
line
own,
of
yeah.
sight name.
Nice to actually meet you properly with an actual name.
Yes. It's wonderful to meet you, Broomtree.
Oh, that feels good. I like that. But anyway, these items.
So, if we were to get the belt of jumping,
Yes.
would this help me traverse terrain?
It
at
does
all?
what it says on the description. It helps you jump. Whether you can exploit that to launch yourself up the landscape is your prerogative.
Here's my thing. Can you wear belts?
This could ruin my business practice.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But you can try. If we could just give it back if it doesn't work, is it okay if we have it on test?
Trial run? Free trial? Is that
Yeah, just try
Well-
putting it on me like a collar or something like that.
You seem decent enough. I think we can call this a mutual trust situation. So yes, as long as you don't run away with it, everything will look fine.
Hold on.
And they take the belt and walk over to you, Stoobs.
a princess? I'm not gonna commit crimes in my own kingdom.
Okay, you did threaten me earlier, though, so
Did I threaten you?
did we?
I don't remember. Did I?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry. You were terse. We're all terse. It's a rough situation.
It's-
Anyway,
I'm a bit
Yeah.
terse. It's part of my character.
here
Yeah.
we go, and the belt snaps around your neck, Stoobs, and just falls to the ground in a perfect ring around you. And
Yeah,
the merchant
no,
says,
this isn't gonna work. Okay.
I think it's going to fit somebody who's more human.
People-sized?
Sorry, that probably is very insensitive. I do.
It's fine. I am a tiny dog who does not have thumbs, and I do not have money, so it's okay.
I've been trying to wear clothes like this entire time, and none of them has worked so far. And I would try and snap it around and just let go.
Okay, it is equipped to you. It seems to be staying on and working for about 3 seconds, and then it kind of falls off awkwardly around your legs. The merchant goes, ugh, it probably doesn't fit with your outfit. And if you can't
Right.
take that outfit off, then
Well, no, this is how I'm stuck. Ball gown and a crown. This is me, Princess Kiwi.
it's very
Also,
beautiful.
I'm Bane now. I go by Bane. If you want to spread that around,
Is it-
Sure.
Princess Bane or just Bane?
just Bane, unless maybe a circumstance might come up where I am necessarily needing to be the princess. But it's for now, Bane, just Bane.
Do we say it like Bane or is it like Bane?
Well, you can just use your normal voice.
Okay, all right. I just want to get it right.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. Thanks.
Maybe the potion then?
Yeah, the potion is looking good.
Kind of takes the potion out, retrieves the belt, stuffs that back inside the robe, and hands over this orange potion. Just hand out to the rest of you.
How many tails is that? Is that all?
That's every one you have, yes.
536 tails.
Correct.
Potion. Cool.
Okay.
And you hear
I think-
as the transaction is immediately completed.
Yeah, I think Bane is the only one here who can carry things. So
I can carry a stick.
Yeah, you know that you all have a very limited inventory space.
Mhm. Can you Mr.
Broomtree.
Broomtree. That was a very loud meow.
I am so sorry. My
There-
cat.
I was
There are
right on
shadow
time
cats.
though.
Shadow cats all over the region. They're not that hostile unless you get close. Yes, you were saying.
Can you leave this region, or do you still just randomly spawn? Do you have control over that now?
I'll be honest, I'm still figuring a lot of things out. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
I was gonna say, because you might want to, if you still want to be in this merchant business kind of a thing.
I don't know if I
Farming.
do. What does a person do with GP? They buy things. I'm the person who sells things, though. So what do I do with GP? Why did I ever
Well,
do
you
this?
You buy things too, right?
From who? For
Yeah.
what? I'm not going off saving the world.
Just 536 rat tails.
Yeah.
Well, traded, but still.
And now that I've done the transaction, I'm wondering, why did I do that?
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe
Nah.
you're gonna find out that it's actually a valuable alchemical ingredient.
Sure, and then what? I become an alchemist? What do I want? What does Broomtree want? I don't even know. I'm just going to sit here for a bit and kind of sits back down on the stump again and just sort of clasp their hands around their non-existent face.
Well, if you wanted to talk to someone else who's kind of going through some stuff, but is not us, and if you can leave this area, you could go talk to Barman.
Yeah. I just need
He's
to
a
be
barman,
alone.
so he's pretty good at listening.
Okay, that could be worth checking out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Also,
You
I
feeling-
recommend just not feeling sad. Just stop.
Just stop, Broomtree. It's everything's gonna be fine.
No offense, guys, but I don't think that's solid psychiatry.
I would like
That
everybody.
is.
I would like Bane and Rosalind to both make flashy tests to convince this
Yeah.
person to just be happy.
Boy.
So,
Let me-
roll your flashy. That's a
Well, when you
2
put it that way.
from Bane. And a 4 for
Holy
Rosalind.
cow!
You can't see it, but you just get the sense of the merchant just like putting on a forced smile. And they say, yes, maybe it's a state of mind thing. I'll try and listen to what you said. There might be wisdom in it.
Yeah, just bury down all the existential crisis. Just hold it deep inside of you and kill some rats or something.
And if you are feeling too annoyed, find someone else who's annoyed and let them rant at you, because then you can feel annoyed without actually being annoyed. It's a trick.
Interesting. These are tips and tricks I've not heard of before at these lands. I'll have to take them to heart. Well, nice meeting you, strange group of people.
Oh,
I
I'm
wish you luck.
Stoops.
Hello.
Rosalind,
And, of course, Bane.
Bane, yes.
Well, I wish you luck on your endeavors. I hope your minds don't break.
I
Bye.
hope yours doesn't
You
either.
too. Yeah.
Bye.
bye. Tree.
Kind of
Probably
slip away.
Probably should have Alchemist throws away at that rock.
And that feeling of sort of inscrutability about your surroundings suddenly disappears immediately. There is clarity in everything around, and there's no trace of Broomtree.
It's fine.
I'm a little worried about him.
He'll be fine.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna make
yeah.
friends with Barman, and then maybe Barman can get a name. I ran out of flowers. Hold on. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone in my village has a flower name. So there's probably no more flowers left to give people names. He can't have a name. Oh well.
I mean, he can have a name, it just doesn't have to be a flower, I mean, there's also tree names.
Oh yeah, we have some of those.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can genuinely. It's kind of weird because most names are flowers, but there's a couple tree names. My dad's name is Rowan, and then I'm friends with this guy named Thistle, and he's kind of negative, which is why his name is Thistle. Everyone's name is based off of if they're nice or not. Have you noticed that? Have you ever noticed that the fact that people are color coded too? Like the fact that I have pink hair means I'm on the good side.
I'm kind of
I'm
not digging the
colorblind.
fact that I'm a part of that. My name was Kiwi and now it's Bane. So I'm probably gonna change that because that's a really good point you're making there.
Mhm,
A lot of flower names going on.
mhm.
You notice that the sun in this world is starting to set over the horizon, painting the sky with a beautiful orange and yellow skybox.
Let's hurry up. I don't like night
Yep,
encounters.
we
Let's go.
You also know that at night the monsters are much more dangerous.
Yep. So walking around,
It doesn't take you too long walking through this area before you see sort of a switchback road that leads up this cliffside that you might be able to utilize.
This looks better. This looks better for my small legs. All right, let's do this.
And as you start climbing your way up this place, you're kind of ascending a little bit. You're getting a better view of the sort of the surrounding countryside. You see just so many trees, beautiful ocean, few islands here and there. This part of the world seems very nice, apart from all the ravenous monsters that seem to be every 3 steps you take. Otherwise, it's beautiful. And as you are sort of climbing up, you hear this kind of sound. And then you sort of see a stone just clatter in front of you. and then you all look up to see that there is a shadow over all of you and a giant boulder just falling at all of you. How do you react?
Scatter!
Yep, scatter.
So it sounds like you're all defending using quickness. So everybody roll their quickness.
I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Would inconsistent sizing help with that?
Would inconsistent size, if you can tell me how it helps, then yes, it could.
It's hard to be hit by a boulder when you're sometimes 3 inches and sometimes 5 feet because it's easier to dodge when people.
Sounds good. You'll have to spend a fate point to invoke that aspect, but if you do, then you get to add a bonus to your roll if you would like. Maybe wait till you see the roll and then see if you would like to invoke it. Sounds good. Oh boy, look at all these rolls.
Maybe I should invoke it.
Well, hold on. Let me see what this boulder gets. So the boulder is a 2. It's a challenge 2 boulder going right at you, and so far only actually none of you are safe from it.
Great.
You know what? That's fine. Let's just get hit with a boulder today.
Love to not though. Can I do? So how does it work? I would like to use an aspect to change my roll. Is that possible, or re-roll?
You can invoke an aspect to either re-roll or add a +2 to it.
Okay.
So would you like to re-roll your dodge?
Yes, please.
What aspect are you invoking to do this?
I want to say, like, if I just, like, really selfishly, like, and move in a way that doesn't favor the rest of them, but it really favors me, using I'm my own hero aspect.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would actually like to invoke my noble steed aspect.
To give a +2 to Rosalind?
Yes, because I am
Love it.
moving her out of the way.
Okay. So Rosalind, you are not fast. You are sort of enamored by a daisy at your feet, and then suddenly this large shadow grows larger underneath you, and you are just sort of tackled from underneath by Stoobs, who tries to get you out of the way, but you both get a little bit crunched by the boulder. And
we all get 2.
and Bane, using your selfish sort of tendencies to put yourself first. First of all, I gain a fate point, so thanks for that. Juicy and delicious.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You all managed to just about avoid the boulder, but get clipped by it, so you're all going to take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
So you'll probably have to spend your first box of stress to absorb that.
Yep.
Boop.
And you kind of hear a sound of as all your health bars go down a little bit. Not by much, though. You avoided the worst of it. And you see the boulder just kind of like lands there, and even though it's on a slope it should be rolling down, it is somehow just static, just left stuck there.
That's cool.
And then you hear a loud voice bellowing from above that says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, that was terrible. I'm truly sorry. I don't know how to explain, but I just felt really compelled to throw the boulder. I cannot apologize enough. Please, come up here. Let me help you. You see this large, sort of gangly figure silhouetted up above, yelling down to you, and they quickly disappear from the edge.
Wait, is this a trap? You have to tell us if it's a trap.
They quickly come back, and they say, that was a trap, yes. I didn't mean to spring it, but I did. I'm really sorry. That's my fault. I feel terrible, mortified. I don't do this usually. That's not true. I think I always do this. I'm not usually... I don't know how to explain this.
Are you suddenly questioning all of your life choices and wondering why you do not have a name?
There's just a moment of pause, and they just hear a, yes.
Oh no.
Boulder is open. Your name can be Boulder.
Okay. That sounds better than troll. Yeah, why don't you come up here? I want to apologize. Maybe I could do something else.
Has this region just really been affected? What's going on?
I don't know, but I also don't know if we can trust it. It could be a second trap.
Okay.
Are you gonna throw another boulder at us?
I promise I'm not going to throw another boulder at you.
Is that a trap?
I don't think I have that many traps up here. I think you'll be okay.
If you throw a boulder at us, I'm gonna stab you.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that that's established, sure, we can Come on.
Okay.
Let's go!
As you make your way up the kind of final switchback getting to the top of this place, there's a sound of as another giant boulder is flying directly towards the three of you. How do you respond?
I get out of the way.
Okay, quickness. So roll quick, Stoobs.
Yes.
You could say
Yes, I
you were anticipating
also-
something like this and say like you're using cautious
Yeah,
or something. Or forceful if you're just going to stand there and just let it bounce off of you.
I would also like to use Noble Steed to help Rosalind.
Okay,
That's
you're gonna.
great.
So that'll be invoking. So invoke. That's another fate point to spend then.
Okay,
So you're down
so
to.
that's
Can
yeah.
I-
So I have one fate point.
Okay.
Can I try like a new animation I've been working on where I like time the boulder and like slide under?
Okay.
Ooh.
Timing sounds like cautious. So you can go ahead and roll cautious. And Rosalind, were you just dodging as well?
Yes.
Okay. So quick from Stoobs and Rosalind. Careful.
Ooh.
So bad. I'm not a careful person.
Was that most recent roll your roll, Rosalind? Zero.
Yes.
Got it.
So she
Okay.
I
does
had
have
a 0.
You have a +2 though from
That's true.
Right,
Noble
okay.
Steed,
So
it's 2.
thanks to Stoob's work, both Rosalind and Stoobs quickly get out of the way as the boulder just like flies off to the side. It doesn't hit any of you, except for Bane. It kind of it cracks next to you, and a piece of fragment of the stone just comes across and just strikes you across the face. You have this big scratch now across the side of your face, and you see your hit points go. But it is not enough to warrant any strikes on your part.
Okay. Okay.
I am
okay.
yelling while also barking, just going, "Bro, why? Why?"
I'm
It's
sorry.
stab time. I
I'm
start
sorry.
doing my
No,
new
no, please.
animation and
Please
I
don't
start
stab
running
me.
towards them.
Oh goodness. All right, let's all roll quickness to determine turn order of this situation.
God.
Oh, fun. Gonna roll for boulder.
What happens if we have a tie?
We have a tie.
Then we will decide who goes when after that. All right. So you suddenly hear as Bane charges that thing, there's just a diddle 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 sound, and suddenly you find yourself on this strange sort of isometric field, ready to do battle with this thing. Even though I think 3 of the participants are not currently looking to do that.
I'm gonna stab him. I told him.
Okay, so dang, Rosalind, you got a 4. Boop. And then Stoobs got a 2. Good work, Stoobs. And Bane gets a 4 as well. Exciting. So between the two of you, who think out of Bane and Rosalind, who do we think goes first?
Bane was very excited to stab, so I think I should.
Okay, so
I
Bane.
did get it first, so either one, I don't know.
Oh, okay, you want to do rock paper scissors real quick?
Sure. Okay.
The entire game stops as a mini game of rock paper scissors begins.
Hey,
Rock, paper.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
It's hard. This can't. I did
Wait,
scissors
maybe okay.
too.
Wait, we should go down. We should go down like this. Doop, 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 and then up. Like that would
Okay.
work best.
Okay. Wow.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay. Cool.
Rock, paper,
I'll go
scissors.
first. I'll take it.
Boulder's
okay.
like, I don't want to do this, but are we doing this?
Yeah, I run up and I like do a flip and then I stab.
Okay, that is a forceful attack. Go ahead
Yep.
and make it. This troll is just gonna sort of take it with their forcefulness. So you got a 3, they got a 4. Would you like to use any aspects?
I don't think an aspect really applies to this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you leap up and you do a cool flip and you slash your blades. You will see this cool sort of trail, this ribbon of white light that follows these blades. One of your blades immediately shatters on impact of this thing, leaving sort of half of the blade still available. The other one kind of scratches at this thing a little bit, but otherwise does very little. And you see their hit points go.
Was it the ancient or the guard?
It was the guard sword that you had is broken.
Well,
But it's still sharp, still.
still sharp. totally still stab you with this.
So Rosalind, you just saw the princess leap into the fray against this creature. What are you?
The troll seems really, or Boulder seems really confused. Confusion's a status effect. Can I remove the confusion?
In the sense of the mechanics in this world, I see no reason why this can't be true. And I'm gonna regret saying this, but go ahead. So I believe this allows you to use your stunt, so +2.
Yes.
So what are you doing? How are you trying to help this person through their confusion?
I am going to flashily create a couple of images so that way I can explain the situation. It'll be like a mini tutorial video of "You've been awakened," and there's just like a couple of images explaining.
Okay, go ahead and roll
Choice.
flashy, and then add another 2 to it.
Okay, can I just use this? Can you not click on the stuff? Oh, that's weird. I thought you.
I don't think so, no.
Okie dokes. Alright, so flashy +2.
Mhm.
So 6.
6 is enough. As you do this, kind of yelling out this tutorial as quickly as you can, as you see the princess just going, "Yeah!" at the belly of this creature. You see that your fairy magic kind of is interwoven into your words and into your predictions. And there is this gentle light that covers this creature, and there is suddenly this clarity that enters their eyes, and they say, "Oh, I think, I feel better. I feel." Excuse me, could you stop doing that, please? It is Scoob's turn. You're muted, Katie.
Whoops, sorry. So this is a very weird situation to be in. So I am just going to kind of just keep barking at him and just be like, "Okay, just sit on your hands. Just sit, stay."
All right, sounds like you're forcefully trying to get him to stop.
Yes.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll it. We'll see how you do with a 2.
2.
You're making a bunch of barks, and at the point, thanks to Rosalind's aid, the situation has become much more clear to this creature, and they immediately just sit down in front of the rest of you, hold up their hands, still getting slashed a little bit by an eager Bane, but otherwise just kind of sitting there.
Staring at him.
Now that it's their turn, they're going to sort of look to all of you, and they're going to say, I do apologize. I don't know what came over me. I should really just move really far away from this place so I don't end up hurting more people. I'm really sorry."
It's okay, Boulder.
And now it's Bane's turn. What do you do, Bane?
Bane is gonna stop stabbing, but she's gonna like hold up one of her ancient swords, the one that's still intact, and just say, "I'm watching you, Boulder."
I understand. Honestly, if I do throw another boulder at you, it's well within your rights to just stab me again. It's very
I
unfriendly of
probably
me to
will.
do.
Just
Okay.
don't throw more boulders.
I wish I could explain. It's hard to control. It's like you sort of trigger certain things by doing stuff sometimes.
That's understandable. I kind of get it. I know it's not within like something you can control, but also you gotta stop doing that because like I don't want to be crushed by a boulder.
I would love to promise, but I don't know if I can. Are you here to kill me?
Yeah, that was the original plan. Absolutely.
Oh,
But you seem chill adjacent, at least.
well, I don't really have much of an idea what I need to do right now, but if you're sent here to kill me, I suppose that is my purpose.
Well, really, we just need your treasure. Is there like a treasure here that...
Oh, yes. You could have it. It's a chest in a cave. I can't even open the chest.
Where's the cave?
Right there, and it kind of points over to a nearby cave. And you see a bunch of boulders just scattered about.
More rocks. Rocks are good. Rocks are...
I'm gonna sit on my hands.
Yep. Sounds good.
Mhm.
Cool.
I'll keep an eye on him if you with the opposable thumbs want to go look at the chest.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Do you want like a sword? Can you hold swords?
No.
No? Okay. Cool.
I can! Sometimes.
It's 5 times your size.
Sometimes.
Is it?
At the
Oh, no.
moment, at the moment, it is 4 times your size.
Okay, but I won't.
Well, okay, cave time.
So
Ooh.
Bane and Rosalind head off to the cave very close by. You kind of like see pixelated bones crunching under your feet as you enter this cave. Very dank, very dark. It isn't particularly deep. The further you go, the sooner you see that there is a large, beautiful wooden chest just sitting there, ready to be claimed by whoever goes up to it.
Touch it, claim it, poke it, poke it, poke it.
I do. I immediately go up to it and just grab it.
Okay, you grab the chest and it flings open and you see this like flash of light come out of it and you start spinning around uncontrollably, Bane. And then you launch a hand to the sky and you have apparently acquired the fishing net. And there's a big fanfare echoing out of the cave that Stoobs you hear, and you're not entirely sure where that came from. But as that all happens, there's also this slight tremor that happens through the world as well. And you can see that the entire landscape shifts ever so slightly, and the boulders just start slowly rolling off the edge towards the town below.
Hey, Boulder, now's a great time to not be sitting on your hands to save the town. Okay, let's grab the boulders, grab the boulders.
And before anything happens, I'm going to increase the instability again.
Oh no.
Oh, dear.
And yeah, the boulders start like moving. Now apparently affected by physics. This game seems extremely inconsistent, and they're pretty slow as well. So what precise action are you taking, Stoobs?
I guess I am just kind of using my herd dog instincts to like get him to go to the boulders to like
Okay. So you're basically giving him a +2.
Yes.
I like this.
I am kind of nipping at his heels a little bit, just like, go, get it!
This is using his quickness, unfortunately, which is his lowest stat.
Oh boy.
So, but it's +2. As you kind of command him to go, he kind of like gets up and then goes, "Oh, my hands are numb!" And just starts waving them around, and the boulders start to teeter at the very edge, and then you see, there they go, off the edge.
Oh no.
What are Rosalind and Bane doing right now in the cave with your new fishing
that
net?
catch boulders?
We know about the boulder situation, right? No?
You can hear the sound of boulders moving and the world moving, and you hear the yell of Stoobs out.
I think I'd be rushing out then, like, to see what all that is. And once I do see that, does the fishing net look like it can catch boulders? Do I think...
It is... you would have to find out. You have to do some science to figure that out.
Okay, cool. Do I
My
think I could
science
maybe
direct
slice the
testing.
boulder with my ancient sword?
Anything's possible.
I'm gonna try and slice some boulders then, if I can.
Okay.
Are they all over the edge already?
A few of them are going over. There's still a couple that have not.
Okay. I don't think slicing actually does anything. It'll just be like 2 pieces going over, but...
You never know. Most things you hit with your sword in this game just obliterate into, pixel dust.
I'm gonna like dual wield then. Slice and then try and catch with the
With the net?
because I'm a dual wielder. It just
Love it. Okay. This sounds fairly forceful, so go ahead and roll your forceful.
Sure thing.
While that's happening, Rosalind, what are you doing?
There's a bunch of boulders slowly rolling to town.
Yep. Momentum gaining by the second.
I don't really know what I'm
That's
doing.
fair. Being paralyzed with fear is absolutely fair.
It's more like I am a very small fairy, and I don't think
You could be a very
With your
big
stick.
fairy.
is going to
Would
do
you, if you invoke your glitch, you can potentially do something, but it will increase the instability. Would you be willing to do this?
Oh.
I feel like that's a bad idea with how much we've instabilitized this area currently.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I'm thinking maybe while Bane handles this, maybe Stoobs and I should try to run to town and ward people. Maybe that would be.
You
the most
absolutely could
ideal.
not make it in time.
Okay.
But you do see as Bane kind of slices 2 of these boulders with this great arcing slash, and they kind of like spin in half and then just explode into particle systems.
Can we make Bane better, can I do something that helps them?
You could try and create an advantage if you would like.
Yes,
What did you have in mind?
I will do that. Bane is also seems to be like really flashy, and I am also an extremely flashy person. So I am going to try to create little images of like around Bane, just like sparkling and like exclamation points, is like hero, woo, excited to just kind of make the
just an inspirational sort of illusion.
Yes.
Love it. Okay, so we're going to roll a creative advantage. You're going to try and create an aspect. You just need to roll your flashy. And there's nothing defending against this, so it'll just be against the difficulty. I'm going to say Inspiring Bane is going to be a bit difficult, so we're going to call it a 3. If you would like, you can invoke an aspect to try and re-roll or add a +2.
Can I invoke Recklessly Joyful? Because this is a very joyful
that
thing
is
to
perfect. Do. All right, so reduce your fate points by 1, and you can increase that flashy roll by 2, giving you just enough to create this aspect. So on success, you create the aspect and get a free invocation of it. So this can be used by anybody, so I'm just going to write it out here. We'll just call it Fairy Inspiration.
Lovely. How long do invocations last? Is it 1 use?
So when you invoke an aspect, it kind of depends on the aspect itself, but things that give you free invocations let you do it a bunch of times.
Cool.
This will probably fade. Or maybe it wouldn't. We'll see. See how I feel. Usually you have to spend a fate point to use an aspect, but because of because you created an advantage, you granted a free use of it. We're all learning this game together. All right, so the boulders are hurtling down. They're about halfway down the ledge at this point. All of you just feel free. What kind of things are you trying to do?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there fall damage in this game?
You have not had the chance to experience it yet.
Okay, and so these are going over the cliff towards the town, but is that also towards Broomtree at all?
No, it's actually the opposite direction, so...
Oh, crap. I was gonna say maybe you could help. Cool.
Anybody?
I'm gonna try and, like, if I can... So some already fell. How far away is the town? Is it, like, actually gonna crush people?
It looks like it'll kind of, like, bounce and just, like, steamroll over parts of the town.
That's not cool. How tall is the cliff?
How tall is the cliff?
Yeah.
Another question I thought I'd have to answer today. It is approximately 1,000 pixels high.
Oh,
That's a lot of pixels.
that's a lot of pixels.
Is there, like, tall trees over there? Could I, like, do some
On
sweet
that side,
acrobatics?
unfortunately, no. On the other side, there are. But it like this world is quite moldable. So if you want to create some aspects or try other things, sorry, a dress parachute.
Yes.
I love this.
Use my ball gown as a parachute.
So this is you overcoming potential fall damage. So you're going to roll an overcome action.
Okay.
And this sounds like, I want to say it's cautious, but it's not because you're jumping off a cliff.
I am.
It's very reckless, yeah.
It's very,
This
so
feels
we call
very
it flashy.
flashy to me.
I think it's flashy. Yeah, let's call it flashy. All right, you're trying to overcome a terrible height. So go ahead and roll your flashy.
Okay.
And if you feel like you need a bonus on that, you can try and invoke something.
I will use the free.
Well,
like,
roll first
fairy
and see.
I did. I
Okay.
got 3.
Would you like to add a 2 from that from your fairy inspiration?
Yes, please.
All right, so I'm going to now move that aspect to, it's still there, but now it costs a fate point to use. So you've used the free invocation, and that's now a 5, which is sufficient. So you leap off the edge, and you all kind of like gasp for a second as you see the princess just swan dive right off. And then very quickly, you discover a new mechanic about yourself as your dress kind of like expands, and it slows your descent. Not a whole lot, but enough to reduce, with a roll like that, to reduce all the damage. And it gives you an opportunity to try and stop the boulder if you would like.
Yes. I'm gonna keep slashing and catching and netting.
No need to roll again. We'll just take your roll from last time. You basically slash apart as you're kind of like flying through the air. Like your dress just puffed out. You just kind of slash one, slash another, flow down a bit, slash another, and they just kind of fly off into rock fragments and particle systems. You can see there's some sort of a parallaxing happening behind you as you just see bits of cliff and rock just like on a weird sort of surprisingly long loop just like be scrolling behind you. And you make it to the bottom, and you see that there's only one bolt left that's bouncing away, and it bounces toward the town, and it smashes into the dock of this city, and you just see an explosion of splinters and pixels as it is thoroughly obliterated. And you see a bunch of the townsfolk kind of respond by just kind of like putting their hands up in the air, just going, ah, ah.
Is that the only dock in the region?
It was one of the few.
Oh, it's like a national monument.
I'm not going to get home if we keep blowing up any of the exits.
You know, all in all, I'd call that a win. No,
Honestly, yeah.
it hurt people.
You're currently way down here compared to your companions.
All in all, I'd
The
call that
voice is
a win.
echoing up.
You see two big thumbs, and the troll says, "Good job."
Only
Thanks,
one
Boulder.
died.
Thanks, Boulder.
Maybe,
Love these guys. And I point
Hey,
towards myself.
Boulder, I was thinking about it, and maybe so your hands don't feel like throwing boulders, you should get a different hobby. Like, I don't know, you could make really big baskets. You could just take some plants and kind of weave it or something.
I
Or,
don't
you
know
know,
any
maybe-
crafting recipes.
Uh-huh.
All the
I know
bowls
how
are
to
gone
garden!
though.
You can plant flowers!
Oh, can you teach that to me?
Can I teach that?
If you roll high enough clever, you will be able to convey your tutorials in a way that he can use.
If I use fairy magic to make a cute tutorial, can it be flashy?
I'm gonna say no, because this is straight up imparting knowledge.
Okay.
Can
Can I use recklessly joyful to help out if I roll bad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, well then I'll take a 2.
Okay.
So
Do you want to re-roll that or just add a 2?
I think add a 2 will be the best
Okay,
bet.
to give you a 2. Reduce your fate points by 1 again. Thank you all so much for giving me so many fate points.
I feel like we're gonna regret this.
We are.
This is how it works. So with a 2, you kind of you try to convey some of these things to this troll. There's a lot of basics that you have to kind of go over to really help him understand these things. You learn that as long as he can find a trowel, he will be able to start doing this. So you've at least put him on the right path to starting a gardening career.
I believe in you, Boulder. You're gonna make the best flowers. Well, you need a flower name then. Mm.
And you see that all the boulders on top of the cliff respawn immediately.
I'm gonna leave now. It was nice knowing you. Bye.
And you see boulders twitching as you go. But he says, thank you so much. Sorry I threw boulders at you.
Hey, good nigga.
Enjoy whatever's in the treasure chest. And yeah, you all are able to sort of reunite with each other back at the base of the cliff. You're able to enter back into the village of Rivershade. And there are still some of the villagers who are kind of screaming a bit. Some of them seem to have just like run past this routine at this point and just kind of going about their normal day. There are bits of sort of floating bits of wood just floating in the air near the dock, just sort of collectible crafting material. None of you know how to craft, so it's kind of useless to you, but it is just floating there.
Can I just grab one as a stick?
Yeah,
As just a pure expression of dogness.
you reach
Okay.
out and try and like chomp on a piece of wood, and you do so. It has
All right.
anti-gravity properties. Because you're technically not holding it, you're just dragging it with you wherever you go. So it's just this floating piece of wood.
Can I
pull out my little branch. We match. We match. We match.
can I try to stand on the wood? If I stand on the wood, is it gonna
It's-
float?
A little awkward, you kind of roll a couple of times, but you have low center of gravity, you're able to sort of stand and just float
Just
on
make
this
like a
piece of
floating
wood.
skateboard.
Yes!
Oh
I
my
start
God.
grabbing a whole bunch of pieces of wood, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go ask Barman to make me something, or like, is there a carpenter in this town who can like...
Because you're a dog, you can only grab one piece of wood at a time. Which is technically me using a fate point on your aspect, so I'm going to reduce the fate point there.
Oh. I have 0 fate points.
No, from me,
Oh, okay.
because of this limitation.
Skateboard dog. Skateboard
So you
dog.
see that Stu's just kind of like dragging this like floating piece of, very mundane crafting material.
Yes,
I have an
yes,
idea, but I need
yes.
more wood.
I'll go pick up some wood.
You
for
walk
stews.
in a certain proximity and you just hear as it just enters your inventory.
Lovely.
You now have stacks of wood.
If Bane removes it from her inventory, does it still float?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go to Barman. I gotta ask
Okay.
him.
You return to Barman. The decor is basically exactly the same, and as you do, the sun is actually fully set at this point, and you can see stars in the night sky and a beautiful pixelated moon up above. And it's a very nice time of night. You hear sort of the crickets chirping, maybe a sound of some horrible ravenous monsters far, far, far in the distance. But you're in a town, so you're. And you enter back into the tavern. You can see it's switched to sort of evening dinner mode. There's people bustling around. There's somebody serving drinks. There's villagers kind of like tapping their food and like pretending to eat it and not eating it at all.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you walk up to Barman and Barman's like, well, look who's back. How'd it go?
He broke the dock.
Heard about that. A new rumor, as it were. Heard another interesting rumor on the old village of Vine, as it were. Turns out the royal family's been kidnapped and the entire castle has been slaughtered.
I turn to Bane.
Yeah, well, that happened. Tried to keep that under wraps. But now
Well, it's
that's
spread
out.
like wildfire at this point. That newspaper over there told us all about it.
Yeah.
Newspaper.
You
I
look
guess,
over
like,
and
the
see
whole
that
burning
lying
castle thing is hard to hide.
lying on the counter is a little piece of pixelated newsprint that has a little yellow exclamation mark on top of it.
I look at it.
Yeah.
You read it, and it says, basically exactly what Barman said. Just like it says that there's been a terrible tragedy that has taken place at what was the castle called? At High Reach Castle. Royal family missing, presumed kidnapped by the forces of chaos. Guards slaughtered. Castle plundered. A dark and sad day for Phantasria. Where are the Lightsworn heroes? Why have they abandoned us in our time of need?
So is this why you're Bane now? Are you just like trying to level up to get good enough to go save your parents?
Well, yeah, that's the idea. Or at least find the heroes so they can go save my parents. Typically, I'm supposed to get kidnapped, but now it's my parents, and yeah. Cool.
Honestly, doesn't it make more sense to kidnap the king and queen rather than the princess? They're the ones with the authority.
I think it's more. For
Well, no
the
one can do anything if
emotional
if the king and queen are gone. If I
Exactly.
get
Well,
kidnapped,
yeah,
they'll
but
do
right-
anything to get me back. 'Cause I'm-
Exactly, so they can take the castle. If they take the princess, they just have a person. If they take the king and queen, now there's no one ruling.
oh,
That just
but
it makes
than
more.
just- I'm a princess.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to say that you aren't very kidnappable because you could be great to be kid. Why are we having this
I
argument?
don't know. Look, my family was taken, my home was destroyed. We've kind of like going through things,
Yeah,
but we have a net now, and
we
that's
have a net.
yes. We're gonna find the oracle,
Yeah.
and everything's gonna be fine. And whatever's happening to us will eventually stop happening to us, is what I've continued to tell myself. So everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Also, we don't have to feel the bad stuff. We can just push that away and only feel the good stuff.
Deep
You hear
down.
a present go, here, and then
Ooh.
takes an imaginary
Here.
sip. In fact, you see his lips move when he says here, as he's taking a sip. Here.
Yep.
Mhm.
And Barman's like, so,
This is the
Wait.
treasure.
Yeah,
The
it's
net.
a net.
he kind of like his eyes sparkle and he says, excellent. New tools are always much valued. Yes, hand it over.
Okay.
Give them the net.
You open up your trade interface, and it takes far longer than it should just to give a person a simple item. But
I
eventually,
clicked about like 5 buttons.
and it's like,
Please.
you have to accept. You have to accept on your end. You need to accept on your end. It's like, it's not working. Eventually, the net is handed over, and you see Barman do a spin around and a ba 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 ba, holding the net above his head, and he says, "Well, I thank you kindly for doing that. Good to know you can handle yourselves. And we made a deal, so I'm going to help you out. You want to get to the Oracle and start getting some answers. They're the one to go to. First, you've got to get to Elfwood. To get to Elfwood, you need the Ancient Tablet, and the Ancient Tablet in the hands of the Lightsworn heroes. Who knows where they are right now? But there's another way. Now, this wouldn't ordinarily work. He seemed like struggling to get something out of his pocket. And he holds up this kind of like stone talisman. It's got these runes on it. And he says, now these are badges that some of the elf guards use to make their way into Elfwood. This will help you get in. Only catch is that without the Ancient Tablet, you aren't going to automatically just be shown the way. So you're going to have to solve some kind of maze. However, I think given, let's say, our mutual awakenings, hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. So here you go.
If I just fly up, then I can see. Okay, that shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, whatever works. Whatever works. Anyway, there you go. Best of luck.
Barman.
Hey.
Is that legal?
Hey.
That doesn't seem like something that's okay to have. Is that legal?
Listen, friend, people come in here all the time selling me the weirdest junk from all over the world. I have to do something with it. Would you like a coconut?
I can plant. We can give it to Boulder and he can plant it.
Okay, 300 GP.
Mm.
Sorry. He puts it away.
Yeah.
Is that like a real price? 300 GP?
Yeah, it's imported.
One singular coconut?
You don't know the buffs this thing has.
What kind of buffs does that give?
Well, if you buy, you'll find out.
Bleh.
Is this gonna cost me a fate point to Google what a coconut buff is?
No, because that's your stunt. Your stunt does not cost you a fate point to use.
All right. I will Google. What buff does a coconut get?
Okay. As you look this up, Stoobs, there's a sudden shake in the world as the instability rises by an additional 6 points. And you see that some of the people in this tavern just start darting around between the benches and clipping through each other. And they all say, "Have you heard the rumor? Have you heard the rumor? Have you heard the rumor? The castle was attacked! The castle was attacked! The castle was attacked!" And Barman goes, oh goodness. Oh, they're getting out of control. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? You see his bar just displaces and disappears. He's like, "Hey, that's my stuff." And it appears back again. And then suddenly everything goes back to normal. And he said, "Okay, I think we're all right."
I think we need to.
I think I have connected some dots.
Anyway, go ahead and roll your lookup for coconut stats.
Oh wow, that's a very good roll for coconuts.
You learn the precise properties of these coconuts. These are known as what are they called? They're only known as coconuts. The description says that they are from the spirit jungle region of this world, and that when imbibed, when the milk inside is imbibed, they can offer a little bit of insight into whoever drinks it, and offer protection from spirits and ghosts.
I will inform the group of that.
Oh, it's an anti-ghost potion? In a coconut?
Yes. But also, just a quick thing. So you know how everything just went real wonky for a second there?
Yeah.
That's when I was asking one of my friends a question real quick, with my brain. I think every time we do something that the game doesn't like,
It gets mad?
it gets mad.
You hear Barman say, "Preposterous! Games can't get mad. The world can't get mad. It's just storms or something, or some new chaos magic."
Why would chaos magic infect a little town like this?
No, it's chaos magic. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it
This is
doesn't really...
hard to think about. Let's forget about it and focus on something positive. We found floating wood.
Is there someone who can make me a floating skateboard?
You'll be wanting to talk to Carpenter about that.
Where does
His
Carpenter
name
live?
is literally just Carpenter, isn't it?
Yes.
God.
So, she lives in the sort of carpentry area. At this time of night, gonna be closed. But you already paid for a room to the night, so you can stick around till morning time, then pay her a visit.
All right. Sounds good.
You have any swords, barman?
Any swords? Got
Yeah,
dagger.
my
Ooh,
yeah.
you gotta up your sword proficiency, my friend.
I'm working on it.
Uh,
How,
like-
do, how does one do that?
by using your sword a bunch.
Okay. Where can we get a replacement sword?
You can talk to Smith. He might know. Where else could you get a sword? Goblins.
Except the goblins will probably start talking to us and asking us why we're here.
Not any golem I've met.
The troll was having problems.
I trust you sorted those problems out.
It's gonna be a
Uh,
gardener.
Oh, not what I meant, but great. That'd be nice, I suppose.
Oh, no, he's like us now.
Did they throw
Kind
the
of.
boulder in a rage?
Really
You know,
didn't
the-
want to, he was just compelled to.
Well, the last boulders were the world got mad again.
Yeah.
Oh. It's fine. Listen, I got people to serve. Why don't you go up to your room? And if you need more help, I can help you out in the morning. But this GP doesn't collect itself, you know what I mean?
Hey, do you want a real name too, or are you okay with just being?
I love bombing. You kidding me? Bombing.
Okay, just double checking.
Full name.
Also, what do you do with GP?
What do I do with GP?
Yeah.
Here's the way I figure it. Everybody needs GP. If I get a whole bunch of it, then I can buy anything I want in this world, right?
What do you want? You already
Right.
have a place to live. You already own a lot of stuff.
It's true, but I could always have more. Nice big castle built myself. Get some nice artisans to build it for me. Some secret passages. Maybe get an airship or two.
Wow. Okay, you got a plan, and I respect that.
Yeah. Yep. Don't need no oracle to tell me what I want.
Well, that's good. At least
Yeah.
someone here has something figured out.
Must be nice. Can't wait for you to get your castle. That would be great.
Oh, it's okay, Bane. We'll get your castle back.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that. At least my parents, you know, they'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do a sleep animation.
Okay.
Yeah.
You head upstairs, go to the one room that is unlocked. You head inside. There's only one bed, but apparently all of you can just use it. And as soon as you all do, you hear a sort of a beautiful lullaby twinkling sound, and your world goes dark. And that is where we'll take our break, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will be right back. Stick around. right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Awakened Pixels. Let's dive right back into things. Intrepid heroes. Welcome back to Awakened Pixels. I am playing. Let's dive right back into things.
I hear you.
That was me from the past, just reminding me of how things are going. I don't usually run tech. So, our heroes who are sort of burgeoning in discovering their powers that they have and the rules of this world, their place in it. You have just rested for the evening at the Get What You Want tavern, and you awaken. Do any of you dream?
That's
'Cause you certainly
maybe
haven't
a little
before.
more existential than I thought we like.
That'd be a
That would
lot.
require like a
Why?
consciousness and a subconscious.
Like, we have consciousness, right?
and-
I'm gonna go ahead and say you all dreamed your first
Oh,
dream
God.
last night. So very quickly, let's just go around the horn. What was that, Rosalind? What was your dream?
She was with all of her siblings and they were playing in the garden with a bunch of flowers. It was really nice.
That's lovely. What about you, Bane?
Her dream was of Mortal Kombat. She, she was just a princess in Mortal Kombat.
It's just a side
Going
scroll.
through-
Just a
Exactly. Just side scrolling,
fatality.
going through the tournament until I don't know if she wins. She wakes up like right before like the last fight, which is going up against like Kotal Khan or something.
I love that so much. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a boost for that because I love that so much.
Thank you.
What about you, Stoobs?
Stoobs is having a very intense dream about code and like knowing that she can code, but she can't. And so it's like one of those dreams where like you can run, but you can't run. So she's like trying to change the game, but she's like,
Aw.
ah!
Must be
It's a
very
stress dream.
overwhelming for this
It's a
dog.
stress dream.
Yeah, poor thing. So yeah, you awaken from the fade to black that you experience as a passage of time. You awaken in the morning, you see a shaft of light come through the window, you hear the birds chirping outside. You can actually see through the window. It's a bit just grey with a white stripe across it. But you head back downstairs. Barman is serving up breakfast that everybody's pretending to eat. Do you say anything to him, or do you want to go about your day?
Does the food here have any taste?
Have
To
you tried
us?
any yet?
It costs money, doesn't it?
It does.
Can I just try to steal some bacon off of someone's plate to see
Yes.
if it tastes?
Please do. This sounds like a sort of cunning thing, so you can roll sneaky
All right.
and see how that goes.
This is not
This will be
gonna be
fairly
good,
easy, so I'll
guys.
say difficulty 1.
Would
Would you like to use an invocation on that 0?
Sure. What can I use?
Anything that you think you can justify.
I think, with her Wi-Fi connection and everything like that, I think she knows like everyone's idol animation. So it's
Mhm.
like when someone goes to like cheer someone else, she just like snags something.
Love it. Okay. So using you're invoking your Wi-Fi connection, so you can reduce
Yes.
your fate points by 1 to increase your roll by 2, which makes it a success. And you snatch some pixely bacon and you chew down on it. And this is probably the first time you experience taste. And damn, does it taste good?
Oh.
You also hear bloop. Don't know what that was,
Hmm.
but it came straight out of your stomach, so it was probably because of the bacon.
Guys, food is good. Food is so good.
I heard a rumor about food, says a peasant next to you.
Oh dear.
What's the rumor? Is there more food?
Did you know that the wheat fields nearby grow corn for the windmill? Did I say corn? I meant wheat. It was a bug. It was a bug. Canon, it was a bug.
That's pretty impressive.
They make the best corn flour
Sure.
in those wheat fields. Hey, do you want to hear a rumor?
Is it about
Sure.
What's the
jumping?
rumor?
I heard the castle got attacked by the forces of chaos. The
Oh,
entire
yeah.
royal family.
Totally.
We know.
Bane walks away.
We know.
Also, random question. Well, not random. When do we refresh our fate points? Is that like
At the start of every
each game?
session.
Okay.
You can get them. Usually, I can offer you a situation and give you a fate point and say, if you do this, then you can have this fate point. But you can refuse it by giving me a fate point. I'm not a huge fan of that because it kind of makes me push you into a corner. So I'm just going to say there will be times where I can award you fate points, and if you want to do something dangerous, say, hey, can I get a fate point for this? Because when we play games, we twist the rules to suit us.
Yes.
In fact, that little bit that was a little fate point from the bacon.
Oh. Eat bacon.
The bacon.
Bacon.
That pig was fated for something great. It never happened.
Oh. I feel bad now.
Listen,
Oh no!
it's a dog-eat-pig world.
That's very true.
Oh dear.
It's very, very true.
So, also, you can completely refresh your stress. That's all gone.
Nice.
So you can uncheck all those boxes. You got a good night's sleep, but also the fairy inspiration has faded. All right. So, how do you seize the day?
I think we need to go find the carpenter and get a skateboard for my steed, so my steed has a steed and we can double steed.
Yes.
And I need a new sword, so
Okay.
I'm gonna. Yes,
You head
that
off
way.
to sort of the crafting corner of this village, and it's very easy to find. You know, there's a nice big plume of pixelated smoke coming out of the smithy. You can see that the carpenter, whose name is Carpenter, she's just kind of like scraping some wood. Pixels fly off, and it doesn't seem to get changed at all as she's scraping away. You go up to Carpenter and explain that you need a skateboard. And Carpenter turns to you and she says, I haven't heard of one of those, but if you could bring me the schematic, I can probably make it for you.
If I describe it to you.
Make a clever roll. This is going to be hard, so I'm going to say a 4,
Okay.
which might be gettable with the clever use of stuff. Remember, if any of you go to create an advantage, on a success and a super success, you tend to create free invocations. So that's a way to create bonuses for yourself that can potentially be free.
Okay. Then could I have Bane kind of lay out the pieces of wood in a general format and just kind of talk her through it, sort of a thing?
Given the way that crafting in certain video games work, where you need like the specific layout in an array, I will say yes. So,
Okay.
But that means that you, Rosalind, are going to have to make a clever roll to try and create this advantage.
Hmm?
Yes,
Or I was having Bane.
Oh, sorry,
has the
Bane.
wood.
Bane. My apologies. My apologies.
Oh,
Bane,
okay.
you will have to make a clever roll to figure this stuff out.
Cool, clever. I'm clever.
We'll say difficulty 3. So skateboard is pretty out there.
Hey!
You got a 3, perfect. So it means you succeed. You create or discover an aspect, and you get 1 free invocation of it. I'm just going to call it inspirational design. Sounds
Okay.
good. And
So
one day I'll learn how to
good.
spell.
So then I essentially invoke that and use my own clever roll to see if I can communicate to her what we want, or...
Yes, so you would use a clever
Okay.
roll to basically see if you can jury-rig a
That's a
skateboard.
2
So you're going
plus
to need
a
a
2.
4, and you can add a 2 from the inspirational design from your free invocation.
So
you kind
that
of work
gets us
quite hard.
right there.
And Carpenter's kind of like looking, sort of stroking her chin a little bit, just like, I don't know. This seems like some kind of elven technology. And then you describe it in detail and say it's not that hard. You just need a couple of wheels, an axle.
We
and a lot
don't
of it
even
is
need
just a
wheels because this is supposed to
Oh, sorry, it's a
this is
hoverboard, you're
floating wood. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not a skateboard, it's a hoverboard.
So,
Marty McFly here.
So Carpenter says, okay, I think I can make this for you, if you have the wood. And of course you do. So you hand it over. And she kind of goes over to a giant log, starts sawing at it. You can see a bunch of sawdust pixels come out. She makes no progress on sawing it. She turns around with a skateboard in her hand and says, here you go. Unfortunately, it seems that in the process of creation, the anti-gravity properties of this thing have been lost, and you now just have a regular skateboard.
It only floats as ingredients.
Oh,
Materials.
nuts.
Well, You have a
Skateboard, though.
skateboard.
Yeah.
We'll take it anyways.
You grab it and hear ba ba da bum bum. You have a skateboard. And Stoobs, this actually goes in your inventory. So you can just
Okay.
hold it and pull it out whenever you want.
Honestly, I'm a dog with a skateboard, and I'm happy about that. Even if it doesn't float anymore, that's fine. Maybe I can get it enchanted down the road.
You get a good look
I
at the
don't know.
stats, and its stats are it lets you move a bit faster. And that's about it.
I'm very excited to have a fairy on top of a dog on top of a
Yes!
skateboard.
What else can we be on top of simultaneously?
I could just carry them all.
Yeah.
Yes! On the skateboard,
Yeah.
like a platter.
All right. So
We need to get a Bane-sized skateboard too, so it's a skateboard holding a skateboard.
Oh my gosh.
Did you want to go to Smith as well?
Yes,
and see
please.
about swords. Yeah, you just hear the kind of like kang kang of this sort of dwarven bloke just smacking as a blade on an anvil. You know, as it turns out, kind of goes to plunge it in the water, smack it again, plunges it in the water. He never heats it, but it keeps letting off steam. And he kind of looks at you and says, "Greetings, adventurers. What can I do for you?"
Oh, I need a sword. Yeah, that's what.
He looks at you, kind of cocks an eye, and says, "I can do swords. Are you looking for a regular sword, an elven sword, a magic sword, an ancient sword, golden
Kiwi
sword?"
shaped.
What was that?
Kiwi shaped. Kiwi shaped. Kiwi shaped.
A kiwi-shaped sword. Kiwis are kind of like. They're like circular. It wouldn't.
What? Oh no, on the hilt. The hilt can be a kiwi. And
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
the pommel, like the kiwi.
Then, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm kind of like trying to get away from that
Oh,
whole
you wanna get
imagery
away from
right
that?
now. Right.
Okay.
I am Princess Kiwi, yes, but I'm also Bane now. So
Well,
if
okay. Well, maybe we could be Bane shaped. Well, that sounds evil though.
Oh, I'm
Like
not
when you
evil.
say Bane shaped, you mean like Wolf's Bane?
like
Or
Wolf's
like
Bane, yeah.
maybe you could get like Wolf's Bane on the scabbard or something?
I got
Well, I
steel.
wasn't looking to like make a sword because that sounds kind of expensive.
I got
I
iron.
just need it. Do you have like do you have swords I can look at?
He kind of like motions you over to nowhere, and you suddenly have in your mind this concept of an inventory filled with 99 swords. A stack of regular swords, a stack of elven swords, a stack of so many swords.
Okay, cool beans. How much does swords cost? Because I have no money. I think I
You
don't
can't
know.
afford 0 of these swords with no money.
Okay.
Oh man.
This lack of money thing is a real bummer.
Yeah, we really need to like just do some side quests or something and get some gold.
You hear the dwarf
Yeah.
saying, "GP makes the world go around."
Apparently.
I've picked up the odd item here and there. Like I have this rope.
You have a fire potion, fire resist potion as well.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
We
that
could
could
sell the
probably
potion.
yeah, that could go for a decent amount of money.
How much can this go for? And I enter it into like the sell bar to see how much GP I can get for it.
He kind of looks at it with his appraising eye and says, "For this, I, a smith, can give you 150 GPs."
What if we
Um,
took it to the alchemist? Maybe we would get a higher
Is
price.
there an alchemist in this town?
I don't know.
Not that you've
Um,
seen.
This
I don't
is-
like Alchemist very much. Let's not go there.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay. Seems
It's
like
okay.
I-
It's-
I'm actually going to use one of my fate points to. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my fate points to invoke an aspect, which is there's now an alchemist in town.
Oh no!
It's okay because most humans are fine and good. I'm actually trying to improve diplomatic relations so we won't be hidden forever. So it's a good thing I met the princess. But let's just not go to Alchemist.
You see a donkey being pulled along, and it's got several bits of alchemy gear and potions strapped to it.
Behind the counter and hide.
And there's this this sort of wizened-looking elf like pulling it along, and they sort of look at a spot, and you see some flags appear on the ground, and then they sort of nod their head, and suddenly, ding, a alchemy shop appears before your very eyes, and they kind of nod in approval and head inside.
If you don't want to talk to
Across the street.
Alchemist, I could just me sell it for more. Come back here. You can stay here.
Yeah,
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Just hang out here.
Go further
Okay.
away.
So, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Make them go further away.
Well, I mean, I'm a princess. I don't just like kick people out, though. I can't
I
just
think
like
you can do that. That's what royals do. You can evict them.
see my. Well, we'll see. Maybe I can ask how long he's staying, but we'll see. I'll work on it. Maybe, kind of. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
Um,
just tell him like over by the river is a really good spot. It's got a lot of foot traffic. I don't know.
Then he'll get like crushed by the next boulder that falls. That seems kind of misleading. So I go to the Alchemist.
Okay, you enter. You hear a little bell dinging as you enter the place. And you see that there are, there's a massive cauldron in the center that's already bubbling away, and there's this elder-looking woman who is just kind of like stirring this pot of this bubbling purple liquid. And you see various herbs all over the ceiling, shelves and shelves of glass vials filled with the various liquids. And she says, "Welcome, traveler. How can I assist you?"
I'm looking to sell this fire resistance potion. Can I do
Uh,
that here?
She says, "I can give you some money for that."
Yeah, how much would that be?
Say 100 GPs.
Ah, cool. Bye.
Bye.
And I
The
click the
door
buy
ding.
bar. Yeah, and head out. So Alchemist didn't pan out. Oh, I forgot about that leaving thing. But she was gonna sell it for less. So I just left. Honestly, I don't think she'll last very long. Like, who's gonna buy from her?
Like,
To
you
be
mean
honest,
without the
who
light
buys
sworn
from-
heroes or whatever?
Without the Lightsworn heroes, right? There's not much business going around.
That's true. That's true.
Everyone else doesn't have money, hence us.
Smith says, "I heard a rumor about the Lightsworn heroes."
Is it that they're
What's the
missing?
rumor?
It
Or they
is.
leave people in caves?
Yes, they've abandoned us all. They left the royal family to be attacked by the forces of chaos. Dark times. Dark times.
Dark times.
Yes, we're aware of this.
But
So-
on the positive,
We'll
150
sell
gold.
You,
Yeah.
We'll sell you that potion.
Okay. You can exchange the potion for a normal sword.
How's that compared, like stat-wise, how's that compared to the ancient sword?
It's worse.
'Cause it is worse. The ancient sword could hit the troll, didn't break, and it can cut through rocks.
Yep.
The normal sword is probably gonna break again. Is it like next to the guard sword? Is it like just change the name?
It's a reskin. But you do hear the smith say, "Well, swords have a chance of breaking when people who don't know how to use them use them. But that means you gotta go through a few swords sometimes. And when you need another one, I'll be here."
Well, best we got. I buy the sword.
Okay.
And I do my animation again.
2 swords, baby.
2 swords.
You can see that the alchemist exits the shop and moves over towards the tavern.
How's our chance? We can go. We can go.
let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hurry, hurry.
Yep, heading out.
All right, so Bane, you're mounting your horse. Rosalind, are you mounting your steed? Okay.
Depending on my size, I guess, today.
Right now, it is somewhat applicable to
Okay.
riding. So you have this beautiful image of just like going over the hillside, leading out of the town. There is a princess with 2 blades astride her horse, and also a corgi with a little fairy riding her next to them. And you look back, and you see the sort of the town of Rivershade, and you see the destroyed dock. You see the tavern and the new alchemy place, and you leave it behind. going off into the direction of Elfwood. So this means you have to travel through the verdant forest, which is well known to be a haven of monsters that serve the forces of chaos. It is a dangerous place, and you know that the elves have had a lot of trouble trying to keep the forests safe from such creatures, but it's been a losing battle. And as you're moving through this place, you can see there is evidence of fighting. There is unclaimed gold floating on the ground. There are, old pixels left behind that have not been thoroughly destroyed.
Yeah, we take the money.
Pick up the money. All the loot.
So, I'll just go ahead and say there's no currency system in Fate, so we won't do it by precise number of gold you have. But it'll be more of a case of when you get a sizable amount of money, we'll just say you have a sizable amount of money. Because I don't want to dive into numbers too much.
Okay.
So you pick up a few scraps here and there, a few crafting components that none of you could ever hope to use, and immediately all your inventories fill up because they're extremely limited as NPCs. And yeah, you continue on your way. There are a couple of random encounters that you have to deal with as well. A couple of scary wolves. This dire bear appears one time, and there are other these sort of creepy sort of forest zombie things, the sort of mushroom creatures that lurch towards you. But they're nothing that you can't all handle without too much effort. The biggest hurdle before you is trying to make your way through this forest to reach Elfwood. Now, what you know is that there is mysterious elven magic that permeates these woods, and they tend to turn around visitors and invaders alike to prevent them from finding Elfwood. So you're going to have to use your cunning, your wiles, or whatever you feel are applicable to learn the patterns of how you're being turned around and how to overcome this cunning trap.
Can I make a trail of flowers so that if I pass the flowers, I will know where I've been?
I love that. Go ahead and roll to create an advantage. This sounds either clever or cautious. Both of those would be
Oh no,
applicable.
I don't know what caution is.
Okay. So this is clever, so go ahead and roll that. I'm going to get rid of Alchemist. Now let's roll this.
I get distracted by the first flower.
I think a 1... Let me see. A 1 is probably exactly what you needed, so let me just double check what that does for creating an advantage. You get a boost. Okay, so you don't manage to create an invocation, but you do get a boost out of it. So that's a one-time use aspect. So I'll just write that here. And we'll just call it Flower Trail. It may never prove useful, or it might be the clutch thing. So we'll see.
And would it be creating an advantage, or would it be like trying to figure things out to recall in my character backstory tales of maybe the royals of Phantasria meeting with the royals of Elfwood,
like old royal envoys,
envoys, and how they got their negotiations.
Yeah, this sounds like you're trying to create an advantage. You're trying to recall something that's going to help you. So go ahead and roll clever to recall this, and you'll see how it goes. We'll call this difficulty 2.
That's a 0.
You think back to your teachings.
Use a fate point.
Okay. To invoke what?
My royal expectations.
Okay. All right.
I'm just so royal.
Explain it to me, not in game terms, but in a sentence of what that means exactly.
Okay. So, what's the sentence?
How is recalling this event? How is using royal expectations helping you recall this event better?
It's more so royal expectations of myself. As princess of Phantasria, I should be able to navigate through these woods.
The diplomacy thing.
Like a diplomacy thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, you can go ahead and invoke that to reduce your fate point by 1, and I get 1.
Yes. And that makes it a 2, right?
That makes it a 2. That does, yes, which is enough for you to create an advantage. We can just call it, Ambassador's Law or something like that.
Cool.
And I forgot to mention, why doesn't Rosalind go ahead and take a fate point for getting out of dodge when that alchemist showed up, for running away from potential danger? demonstrated. Cool. So yeah, you're all sort of recalling different things that can help out. Stoobs, are you doing anything?
I would actually like to kind of bounce off of what they're doing, relying on Rosalind's flower trail and Bane's kind of knowledge of the area. I have my nose to the ground. I am sniffing. I am trying to find anything unusual. I am, using that keen dog nose to try and navigate us through.
Okay, sounds like you're trying to overcome a challenge. So to get through the Elfwood, it's very difficult. You're going to need a 5. But recall that there are boosts available to you to use if you can think of a way to justify them, and you can spend fate points to try other things as well. What else? You can also invoke multiple aspects for the same roll if you need to, just not the same one twice.
So I would like to use the flower trail as
Okay,
a boost,
so
if
that's
that
a
is
free
okay
boost?
with everyone.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Works. Seems great. So that's gone now. So that gives you a free reroll or a +2, your choice.
Okay, and I would also like to use my noble steed trait.
Go on.
Because, as a steed, you need to get through dangerous obstacles and things like that. So I'm like, okay, think like the horse, be the horse. Like.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So that gives you an additional thing you can use here.
Okay. So would this be clever or would this be careful?
I'll let you choose. I mean, it sounds like both would kind of apply. Like a slow methodical search is both clever and careful.
Okay,
So
so that's
3?
3 plus 2 plus the boost. Okay,
So
yeah,
you-
so that's...
I'll go ahead and just, Flower Trail will be useful for nothing else, so we'll use Flower Trail. And so you didn't have to do the secondary part, so you didn't have to spend a fate point. And yes, Scoobs, thanks to the trail that is left behind, you are able to sort of navigate between the twists and the turns and the magical illusions that seek to displace you. And in doing so, you find that you are able to reach what you believe is the entrance to Elfwood, or so you think. Because as you pass through this sort of very heavy thicket, you see that there is something standing very tall in front of you. It is a wall that stretches as high into the sky as the game can render, and as far to the side as far as the game can render. And it appears to be some kind of bramble wall, but it looks very wrong. It's sort of got a reddish tint to it, and there's this red lightning that is arcing between some of the roots. This is not meant to be here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of instability.
That was not in any of the stories.
Really spooky. Also, I've been thinking about it, and Elfwood is where the elves live. Faerun is where the fairies live. How come the towns aren't called Humanville?
How did we get our name? I don't know. I have no idea. I think we were just named that. It's kind of like...
Why are the humans all over the place, but the elves and the fairies are only in the one place?
Well, it might make sense because in the past when the old plague happened, all the fairies went away because a bunch of people killed us. For magic. Potions that didn't even work.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Since then, only one fairy has died, and it was my friend's mom. But that's okay. We don't worry about that. That's sad. We don't talk about that.
I'm sorry about all that.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm for reopening. I think humans are not that bad anymore, and we should be friends with them.
Coming to the realization that a lot of them aren't just period. They just aren't.
They just aren't.
Suddenly
Yeah.
you see your health bars go down a tiny bit.
Oh.
Oh.
And you all take a point of stress.
I'm thinking that this area is dangerous and might actually be actively hurting us.
Is
no.
the door open or
There is no door. You kind of came through a
Oh,
thicket to
it's
be
just
here,
a
and you
wall?
expected the entrance to the town, but it's just this insanely huge wall.
When I fly up and see if it ends?
Yeah, you fly up as far as you can go, which unfortunately in this world is not very high at all because you lack the fly mechanic, and it just keeps going.
It doesn't stop, you guys.
It is something that is irrationally high. Like this doesn't. This stopped being useful a long time ago.
What do we do? How do we know? Like, is there? Do we know if
Anything-
this is the mire? Like, we have some vague concept.
It's been a bit sporadic so far. This kind of angry chaos seems to strike you as a Maya energy. So something very unintentional has happened to you.
I'm gonna say we should maybe like back up a little bit, just
Mhm.
because being near it doesn't seem like the best. Or I can try and slice through it with the swords. Flourish, 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 flourish.
Burst the wall! Burst the wall!
Would you like to forcefully smash through this wall, Bane?
I'm gonna try.
Go for it.
Cut.
I back up.
All right, so let's see your flourish, your strikes, your mighty swords.
4.
That's a 4. That's extremely
Wow.
good. You see Bane kind of like takes a second and just starts becoming a spitting top of death as she slashes and slashes and slashes and slices and slices and stabs. And with every strike you hear very unpleasant sound that kind of reverberates in your mind. Bane, you deal 4 points of instability as the world
Whoa,
seems to break
that's-
the more you strike this thing. And then you start feeling just like this electricity in the air, and you see your health points kind of dropping a little bit, not enough for stress at this point. And there is this feeling of just like gravity getting much stronger.
Well, that didn't work. We're gonna back it on up now because
Okay.
that.
There was
That's-
a sort of ruin nearby, a little shrine that was overgrown, that looked like a safest spot to stay.
Yep.
Oh, there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, Rosalind, you would recognize one of these shrines. This is built by the fairies themselves a long time ago. They have been long since been abandoned by fairies, but they were ancient healing shrines. And indeed, the waters here are said to be able to cure any sort of physical ailment that a person has. Although it's become overgrown, although it's become abandoned, you certainly feel a certain kinship here to your people.
It's the closest thing to home I've seen in so long.
There's a big shaft of light going down into this pool, and there's like little bits of particles just floating down.
Do you drink the water or do you get in the water?
Thomas, do you drink the water?
A small sip is all that's required.
You just take a sip.
I'll try to, as respectfully as possible,
Lap it
stick
up.
my schnoz in the water.
Okay.
You do so, and as you do, you hear blip, blip, and your health is restored. You can remove your stress tubes.
Oh, it still works, guys.
And
Let's just stay here. This is a good spot. We don't have to go anywhere else.
Oh, we gotta get in there still.
Maybe if we throw the water, it'll fix the bad stuff. We take the water and we just toss it on all the bad stuff.
Like holy water kind of a thing?
I don't know what that
Just
is.
Spritz it.
Yeah.
Do we have a bucket? Does anyone have a bucket?
A bucket is a vital tool in this world that you certainly don't possess.
I'm just gonna cup some in my hands, I guess, and like. Shove.
Do both of you drink it first, or are you just gonna
I
experiment?
drink
first?
it first.
Okay,
Yes.
so you two can both remove your stress. And as you cup it in your hand, Bane, there is a sudden sort of jolt of lightning that happens in the air nearby. Not quite Maya related. It's more of a classic magic in this world seems to be occurring. You see this sort of spiral of a very beautiful particle system that's spinning round and round and round and round and round. Then suddenly, you see a woman sort of dressed in this white coat start flailing and just slams down onto the ground in this shrine. And you can see she's got these massive spectacles on her face, and this sort of massive curly hair that's just springing up backwards behind her. And she's looking up in shock. She's got this strange metal device in her hand, and she says, "Oh, hi."
How
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Rosalind. What's your name?
She quickly, her head just ducks right down to look at whatever device she's holding, and she just gets close to you and she goes, yes, excellent. You're one, good. And she starts moving around. She goes to you, Scoops, and goes, there's another one. A dog, that's fun. And she goes over to you, Bane, and goes, and we have one here. We have three. Oh, you're the princess.
Yep.
Your
hi.
Majesty, hello. Pleasure to meet
Just
you.
staying now. It's nice to meet you too.
Okay, I'll have to keep that remembered. Hello, hi. I'm glad to see that my fast travel worked. I'm not dead. So that's good.
Congratulations.
Good job. For
Who
that.
are
What's
you?
fast travel? Well, it's probably exactly what it sounds like. Cool.
It lets me travel really fast. Well, it's not meant to. But I tried some things and they didn't destroy me and tear me apart. So that's always good. And she starts kind of like stomping around, like looking at this device that she has. Oh, that's
Who are you? What are you doing?
and she sort of like spins around and she says to you, "Oh, I'm the scientist. Hello."
That doesn't narrow it down.
What's a
It does.
scientist?
There's only one scientist in this world, and that's me.
One time.
I aided the Lightsworn heroes. I helped them fix their ancient flying machine. You maybe heard of that legend. Either way, I haven't heard of them. Oh, well, I helped them fix their ancient flying machine and
Nice.
allowed them to enter the Blightlands to finally end the battle against the forces of chaos. But I haven't heard of them since. I assume they're dead. But now all sorts of new things are happening, and it's very exciting. Very exciting. Very exciting.
That is very exciting. I planned on finding you like a lot later because I'm gonna need that like whole flying machine thing so I can go
It's
save
gone.
my parents.
It's gone. It's in the Blightlands. There's only one ancient flying machine. They only built one. They had to exhume it from the desert. We're not gonna find another one. Nope.
Why didn't you like record what it's like so you can make a new one?
Oh, I did. Trust me. But we have to use ancient cores, and there's only so many of those found in this world. Yes, only so many ancient cores.
How many do you need?
It doesn't matter at this point. We have far greater problems to worry about than some chaos people in the tower. We are going through an entire revolution of our world, and only a few people seem to be cognizant of it. It's very exciting.
I just want to go home.
Yes.
Do you have a map?
Oh no, I don't carry such rare items on me. Certainly not.
You can make an ancient flying machine, but you can't get a map.
I'm not a cartographer. No. Yes. No.
Do you know one?
No. Can't say I do. I don't really get out of the lab very much until I went to the caves. That's when the Lightsworn heroes rescued me. Very good of them. Very nice.
Was it a dingy cave with like no flowers and a lot of poison?
No. It was a cave. Well, it was a cave filled with this sort of lich fellow. I was doing some studies on an ancient sarcophagus there, and it turns out to be a lich.
They go to a lot of caves. What is it with the heroes and their cave obsession?
I couldn't say. I
A
would.
lot of treasure in caves.
I would one day write a thesis on it, but today is not that day. There's far too much.
Could you maybe explain some of what's going on?
What?
I am a talking dog. What is happening?
She says, well, let's see. The world as we knew it it wasn't perfect. Some strange things happened every now and then, but they happened somewhat consistently. However, now we've entered a new paradigm, if you will. There are things that are happening that shouldn't be happening, and what's more, they're happening very chaotically, in ways that is really impossible to track or predict, and it's getting very difficult. And I think that the very fundamental rules of our entire universe have undergone a massive change that could result in the death of us all very, very soon.
So why are you
Like
here
your
now?
lab coat.
Like what are you gonna
Thank you.
do? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm
Yes.
hunting down people who are awakened. That's what I'm doing. Because
Oh.
we're gonna need you. We're gonna need all of you. As many as we can get. And there's a few, and she kind of like points at this beeping device that she has. It's just like some scrap metal, some glowing gems, like a little wooden dial that's just affixed to the center as well. And she says, I have determined that there are people in this world who have been, shall we say, ascended somewhat. Maybe that's a bit wrong, giving it a sense of superiority. But there are people in this world who now can access certain abilities that were, until now, possible. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of potential.
Yeah, we've met 3 others.
Excellent.
It
Now-
seems like this is expanding very rapidly.
According to my device, the 3 of you are... you are showing very high levels of, what should we call this, mutability. I believe that you have unparalleled access to some of the rules of this world. It means you'll be able to do things that people wouldn't have dreamed of before this all started.
Do you know what the internet is?
Do you? What is it?
Never mind. I
Okay.
was really hopeful for a second. It would take a really long time to explain. Okay.
There's you suddenly notice that the water, the beautiful sort of clear water of this shrine, turns blood red. Just immediately. No fanfare.
Can I do like a vibe check? Like, because I think Bane's getting the sense like, oh, I don't like this scientist. They seem like they know too much and like they're kind of evil in my eyes.
Mhm.
For some reason. I just don't like her. Maybe. I don't know. Is there like a vibe check I can do on her?
You could do careful maybe to see, what
Yeah.
your sort of gut is telling you about her.
That's a -3.
That's a -3, everybody.
That's real bad.
Wow. How did you get a -3?
I got all negatives.
Bane, you are certain, without a shadow of a doubt, that this scientist works as a right-hand artificer of the Vile Lord, and that she is perhaps one of the most evil people on this continent that needs to be eradicated and beaten.
Oh
So
no.
I'm gonna hold up my ancient sword to her and just like, you.
Now, it's also been causing some irrational behavior in people, so good to know that data point is still,
I'm gonna need you to explain yourself a little bit better because why do you need people? And if you need people, is it for the Chaos Lords? Is that what you're looking for people for?
Chaos Lords. No,
And remember, I have 2 swords, and then I hold up the other one.
no. Oh, 2 swords.
Yes.
Interesting, you've unlocked dual wielding. Not many people have done that. I'll have to take a note of this at some point. But I digress. Listen to me very carefully. The Lightsworn heroes, they want us to deal with the forces of chaos. Whatever. That's old news. There's something new happening, something very different. And it's causing what I like to call rift bleeds that are spreading all through our world. You understand that? And at the very center, there is something I like to call the Rift Tempest, and that is growing by the day. It is so impenetrable that if we don't stop it, it will destroy the world as we know it. I'm talking a hard crash. I'm talking everything stops. I'm not talking death. I'm talking obliteration. I'm talking jettisoned into a sun and then cramped into a box and then thrown off a cliff and then set fire. So, the reason I'm looking for people is because we need people who have the ability to grow and adapt and learn new skills and do things that we would normally rely on the Lightsworn heroes to do, but now they're out of the picture, so that's not going to work. We're going to need people to close these rift bleeds so that the Tempest gets weaker and so that they get stronger so we can get to the center of that place and stop this before. Is that to your satisfaction?
That's kind of wild. That's a lot of story, but
Have you seen
also
anything wild within the last day?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what's going on, but that's I guess the question we have.
She kind of pushes up her glasses and takes a closer look at you, and she says, "Now, Princess, as far as I understand, you were kidnapped. Now you're not. This is very interesting. It's very interesting. It seems that it can change our very fate. I don't know if any of you believe in fate, but it's gone now, so that's somewhat liberating."
I can eat and taste bacon now. That's pretty good.
Fascinating.
Do you have any?
No, I don't.
Chaos Lords, do they fit into that in any way at all? Are they doing anything that you know of?
I have a hypothesis that they were doing a lot of work with elemental magic. Perhaps they reached inside some kind of primordial chaos energy, and that's why it's able to rewrite the world because it was there at the beginning of time. Maybe they tapped into that and they don't know what they're doing, which doesn't surprise me at all. And now we're seeing the repercussions of that.
Those are a lot of words.
Yes.
But there's a bunch of evil, and we have to make it unevil or else the world blows up. Yes?
That's the gist of it.
Okay. So is
How
the
do we
creepy-
make it unevil?
Yeah.
I point at the scary wall thing. Because it made my fountain red, and I don't like that.
She kind of holds her device up near the fountain, and there's a strong boop, 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 She's like, okay, and she turns it at the wall, and then her device explodes in her hands, and you can see her hit points go a little bit. And she goes, oh no, that's terrible. And then 2 rift points get added. And since the instability bar is full, that's going to trigger a rift bleed. The entire world flips upside down. Gravity does not change, but you just suddenly feel this sense of being in the completely wrong place. There are these red clouds that shoot this red lightning out all over the place. You can see that the ruins around you turn into a bunch of coconuts, and they just scatter all over the place, and then it snaps back into the ruins again. You can see the trees just start spinning round and round, roots up, just clipping through the ground. You feel that every fiber of your being is being pulled off to various sides, and in this kind of upside down state that you feel yourselves being in, one of you looks up to the sky, and you notice that there is some sort of strange shape, this strange sort of cube, square of some kind, and it is getting bigger, and bigger, and it keeps coming.
The sun is mad.
Wait, are we upside down?
It's a cube
You
of
feel
doom,
upside
and my
down.
tail knob doesn't like it.
You feel upside down, but you're not upside down. It's just the world is flipped. It's as though we're watching a movie and I just did this.
Okay.
Big cube.
Big cube.
The scientist looks up at this and goes, well, that's terrible. I've lost my device, which means I can't find any more people like us right now, so I'm going to stick with you for the time being. What do we do?
I don't know. You're the one with the Geiger counter, or you did have it.
And this thing gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's getting perilously close.
Oh,
we have
dear.
nothing to
Boulder.
lose.
What
I
did
would
we
like.
do with the boulder last time? Bane hit it! Bane hit it!
I'm just gonna stab it. I start stabbing this towards.
Okay. Make a forceful roll.
Okay.
Oh my
You stab this
God.
thing, which from the angle that both Rosalind and Stoobs are looking at this at, you can see it is a number of large cubes just stacked up, 4 to be exact, and it is a pillar of cubes that is about to crush, and in fact it does crush.
Can I use that boost
thing.
from earlier?
Your Mortal Kombat boost? Yes, you may.
My
You can
Mortal Kombat
you can
boost.
either re-roll or you can add 2.
Add 2. It's a real risk to add 2. I mean,
Time
to
suddenly
re-roll.
slows as you plunge your sword into this thing.
I'm gonna So at 3, is 3 good? Is 3 like normal?
For this, so you like a normal challenge is about 2, a hard challenge is about 4, and it can sort of range from there. This thing is, we're talking 4 territory, maybe 5.
Okay. So I'm gonna re-roll. We're gonna risk it for the best.
You got this. Use your Mortal Kombat.
Can I totally use a fate point to I'm my own hero this? Is this
Yeah, you are soloing a Tetris block, so you absolutely may.
That's a 5. I don't need
Hey!
to use it's a 7 because I'm using my boost to
Yes.
I re-roll. That's the re-roll. Okay, I don't think I need I'm my own hero.
Okay, so you're using Mortal Kombat. So suddenly, thanks to your 2D fighting experience from your dream, you suddenly enter a one-on-one contest with this giant block that is falling down on you, and you spin your swords, and you plunge one straight up, and you just all hear the words, "Finish it!" What do you do, Bane?
There's about 1,000 slashes on the screen as I just slash.
And
then-
this block explodes. It pauses for a second, and then it explodes all over the place. And you all just see blood splattered all over your eyes. You perfectly read the word fatality. And the block is gone. And looking up, there are more. And the scientist says, "We should run."
I'm gonna
We
need
should
more
definitely
swords.
run.
And she starts just running through the forest.
I would like to
You-
hop on my skateboard and move faster.
Okay, that's great. I'm gonna give you a boost for that immediately.
We'd also like to ride on my steed while my steed rides on their skateboard.
Okay, sounds good. you notice that as you're running, you are locked to a line, a plane. You cannot move left or right. You are simply running in a single direction. And as you're running, you just hear from behind you as part chunks of the forest just get annihilated as this block falls down. Then as another one happens as well. What are you all doing to avoid these blocks?
Can I pick up the scientist on my horse as well?
Yes, you quickly grab her and kind of like she scrambles a bit, but just like holds on to you for dear life. It sounds like skateboard crew are doing it quick.
Yeah, we're going
I
fast.
think quick is fast. I have a branch, but I don't think a branch is very helpful in this very specific situation. So.
Bane, by the way, for executing a fatality, you gain a fate.
Ooh, nice.
All right, so roll your quickness, everybody.
Okay.
Do I roll 2 or?
Yeah, all of you together.
I mean, she's riding on me.
She
like,
is,
so
but it's still
like-
sort of a method of how much is that helping and hindering you. It's kind of a group check situation.
One.
Well, we also have a boost, so you can either take the +2 or I can take the +2.
Or you can reroll.
Well, I'm at a
Rosalind's.
-1.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to reroll?
I think I will.
Okay, skateboard is used, and you reroll Rosalind. Okay,
To a
better.
0.
Okay, it's neutral.
Better.
It's
As a group check, that's pretty good the way it averages out. So you're running through the forest, and it's annoying because there are trees in the way that you kind of awkwardly have to just sidle around because you lack any 3D movement anymore. And you hear just explosions from behind you as these blocks fall down, and you all manage to avoid the worst of it. And you can see that there are kind of bits and chunks of wood that are splintering. There are craters left behind. But you notice that as one of the final blocks falls down, it interacts with the other blocks, and suddenly they flash and they disappear. And you just feel the sudden wind whoosh into this area where there was suddenly matter where there now isn't anymore. And
Is it Tetris?
yes, and the skies seem to brighten again. The world no longer seems upside down, and you're suddenly able to turn left and right once again. And I will reset the instability.
Oh my
You
god.
all got out of that without any consequences. Good work, everybody.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. We survived Tetris.
And
I'm
the
really
scientist,
happy I have that skateboard.
the scientist kind of like looks back and adjusts her spectacles, and she said, "I might be wrong, but I think that destroyed the wall." And you look back, and you see within your limited rendering distance that indeed the massive red Maya wall appears to have been destroyed, as were all blocks within 10,000 pixels.
So, if we need to get through something like this, do we just have to punch through and just go with the consequences and try to survive? Is that the only way through?
The scientist says, "Well, I'm still gathering data, but this has been a very useful observation to have. It seems like if there is a tangible rift nearby, hopefully there is something you'll be able to do to close it up, usually by shooting whatever comes out back through it again, or going through it and turning it off from the other side.
Stabbing it to oblivion.
I don't know if you can stab it, but
I
we'll
kinda
see.
just stabbed it. I did a really good
You
stab.
didn't stab a rift, you stabbed the object of the rift. The rift would have been far, far up into the sky, I think. And of course, the other alternative is to trigger one of those, whatever just happened just then, rift bleed, let's call it, and hopefully deal with the consequences. I would advise against it, as it seems very bad. I don't know how many things just got killed. Just then, it was probably
Yeah.
a lot.
A lot.
Was the elf village okay? Is that around here?
I don't know. We should go check.
Yeah.
To the wall. By the way, my horse's name is Dagger. I turned Dagger around.
Oh, I love
Dagger. I
Love
love
it.
Dagger.
it. Dagger kind of kicks into motion. You do your best to keep up, Stoobs, with your stubby little legs. And you all go over to where the wall was. There is no trace of it. You had to go up and down in a few craters before you got here. Some very large square imprints have been left on the ground. It probably looks pretty cool from above, but here on the ground it's just devastation. It's truly, truly terrible devastation. The sort of sickening briar wall is gone completely, and you see that there is this big archway that has some elven runes on the top. And immediately behind that, you see a lot of trees, a lot of huts that kind of built into these trees. You see beautiful temples, elegant structures made of the finest sylvan wood, which is kind of this beautiful kind of a white wood. And another thing you notice is that approximately half of this town is on fire. And you can see that there are dark, shady figures moving about the town, and elves desperately fighting back against them. There is some kind of battle happening right there, right now.
So maybe we should go somewhere else. They seem a little occupied right now.
If they die, we get no answers.
Yeah, we kind of probably should help them, and it probably really look bad if, like, I just ran away from this, but I also probably shouldn't die. But also everything's also
and what
terrible.
if the Oracle is killed? Also, a whole bunch of people are dying right now. So
Bane rushes in
going.
swinging.
I go.
Yeah.
Charges into the fray. What do you do, Bane?
Oh, Bane rushes in swinging, just
Okay.
sword. A lot of animation.
Let's roll quickness then, everybody, as you charge into the village to try to protect the elves from this threat. You also see that there are a couple of like nice buildings, maybe a gazebo or two, that have a massive massive square like hole now, and there's nothing left. Oh, there's some floating wood though. Some floating
Oh no! There.
silver
Maybe
wood.
the scientists can do something with it. I don't know.
All right, so
Give
that's
me
a
height.
1 from Stoops, a -1 from Bane. How did you do? Rosalind, is that a 1?
1. It would make sense because we're together. So
Sounds good. Okay, and I'm gonna roll for the elves. They are naturally quick, so they'll get a 5. Goodness, that's amazing. And then I will roll for this other group, who you immediately all recognize simply from being inhabitants in this game, as the Forces of Chaos. And they got a 1. Good work, Forces of Chaos. Prepared as always.
Good job, Ben.
All right. Up first is the elves. They are naturally going to try and defend their home by striking at all these no-good chaos soldiers. You see one elf has this kind of like double-sided glaive, and they just leap out of the tree and just and cut down 2 of these sort of swordsmen creatures that are somewhat monstrous, wearing these dark hoods and wielding these blades that seem to be part of their arms. They get obliterated and disappear into pixels. That has already reduced the Forces of Chaos by 2. Good work then. Balder is not in this encounter. Don't know why I rolled that. And Forces of Chaos will go next. They have not noticed you, but they are doing. There are currently, by the way, 3 undiscovered aspects in this encounter, and you can spend a created advantage action to try and uncover them to see who could potentially use them. And Forces of Chaos going to attack the elves. Same thing, and fail to do much. You see that the Forces of Chaos kind of slam into the elves. Some of them fire some arrows that kind of like make them retreat. You can see that there are some setting fires here and there. It's all hands on deck, it seems, and there's battle fury everywhere. Stoobs, you charge in first. What do you do?
Okay. While just absolutely shrieking, "Once more to the breach, dear friends!" I shall bite.
Okay, so you're attacking. You're forcefully attacking the Forces of Chaos.
Yes.
All right, they're going to take it on their shields. You deal 2 damage to the Forces of Chaos, which is very good, by the way. That's enough
Feel
to
accomplished.
obliterate most things. So Stoobs, you leap in, you like start Mario bouncing on one after the other, and they just die from it. Just bloop, 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 bloop. And then you land with your jaws on top of this sort of evil sorcerer-looking figure, and you just clamp your jaws around it. And just go, "What is this? What is this? A dog?" And they just explode into pixels. Those being their final words. Rosalind, your turn.
So there's fire everywhere. Is it a burning status effect, or is it just normal fire?
I don't think buildings get status effects so much. It's just flames.
That's
Just
fair. That's completely fair. I guess I will take my stick and I'm gonna whack someone with it.
okay. You charge up to the nearest foul Force of Chaos, and you knock them with your stick for a forceful attack. They again will try to defend.
Good.
You're attacking kind of like a plated knight who has this kind of like horn helmet, and they see you coming and just go, tiny fairy, and hold up their shield. And you pierce right through it with your stick, and they go, "Ah, my arm! How did you do that?" They start rolling on the ground and just they explode into dust. Bane, you are the slowest, reacting very slowly to this situation, but you are here now. What do you do?
I was probably so slow because amongst all the chaos, I was looking for a better sword than the normal one.
Okay. Would you like to try and find a new sword?
Yes. Would this be like overcoming or like creating an advantage?
It'd be creating an advantage.
Yeah, that's what I mean to do. So what should I roll?
It sounds like you're very quickly doing a search, so it'd be quick.
Cool. 3.
A 3. A 3 is enough to uncover one of the hidden aspects, and would you know it, one of them is elven weapon that is on the ground.
Nice.
Hey.
And let me just
for the normal.
So that was a success. Let me just double check what that does. On a success, create an advantage. You discover the aspect, and get a free invocation of it. That's a auto one you can use there. So I'll
Nice.
use that here. Oop. So you see this elven weapon on the ground. What is it? What do you pick up?
I pick up a. What are weapons? I don't know swords. A falchion. That's
a falchion.
There you go.
That's the only name of a sword I know. Okay, that works.
Okay, you pick up an elfy falchion, and it is now yours to use. Bringing it back to the elves, they're going to start trying to put out some of the fires, which means they're going to overcome to sort of eliminate the bad stuff here. How are they doing that? They're doing it as quickly as they can, so they're going to use their quick again, and they do it. So another one of the hidden aspects, on fire, is now removed, thanks to the elves' diligence and the sort of naturally fire-resistant wood that they create their homes out of. So good work, elves. Forces of Chaos are going to take this advantage and try and strike at some of these creatures. One is going to attack you, Stoobs. So I need you to roll a defense, or rather tell me how you're going to not get hit by this swinging axe coming your way.
Dodge, dodge, dodge.
All right, so use a quick. You need to beat a 1. And you do. The axe slams into the ground, and you do a little adorable corgi sausage roll to one side, avoiding the damage, and you kickflip your skateboard up, and it kind of lands in your inventory as you do so.
In my head, it's the Mission Impossible theme song.
And Stoobs, it is now your turn.
Right. Well, things are going real well for Stoobs right now, I have to say. So,
You were born for this.
Once again, I thought, cry for Harry, England, and St. George, and bite him. Oh my god, that's a -1.
Okay, well, let's see how they defend first. There is some sort of sniveling sorcerer there who is going to quickly try and dodge out of the way of what you do, and they succeed.
Oh, yeah, they really do.
Let me just double check if when you fail to attack, if anything bad happens. Fail, no effect. You're fine.
I face plant. Yeah.
It's really adorable. Your little legs fly up into the air. You got a little butt. I can just. All right, that brings it to Rosalind again.
Well, I'm worried about my steeds, so I'm going to run in front of them and just kind of be like, nope, and try to bat them first.
Okay, go for it. Another forceful attack.
Let's see how that goes. A 3, that's not bad.
They're going to try and dodge again. It worked last time, and it failed. You got a critical success. Let me double check what that means for an attack.
Yeah.
Attack deals damage. You may reduce the damage by 1 to gain a boost. Would you like to do that, or just do normal damage?
Yes, a boost sounds great.
Okay, what would you like your boost to be?
The boost of friendship.
All right. Well, I'll call it a battle bond. How about that?
Battle bond, it sounds like a lot better words than what I said.
All right, that brings it back to Bane.
So I'm gonna ride across the battlefield on my horse, just like slashing as many people as I can.
You hear like one of the
swords
elves just yells out, "Is that the princess? What's she doing here?" And you're just like,
Well, good people, not the elves. I use discretion.
yes, of course.
Yes.
Would you like to use caution for these discretionary wild strikes?
Yes, please.
Okay. Go for it.
And I'll tag my boost? Was it a boost or an aspect?
Which one?
Or
The other
free
weapon?
invocation?
You can
The
just
elven
use
one.
it. Yeah, so now it just becomes a regular aspect, and you just get free use of it immediately. So go ahead and roll, and then use your aspect.
I'll just add a +2 for 5.
Sounds good. The Forces of Chaos are going to try and dodge these wild windmill strikes. And you deal a critical attack. So you can either deal 1 damage and gain a boost, or you can deal full damage.
I will deal 1 damage and gain a boost for
Okay.
next time.
What
which
boost
is
would you
basically like a I think like being a Strata horse just is making me better, like high ground or something.
Yeah, high ground level. I love the idea that if you were a D&D character, your character has learned so many feats so quickly. Just like dual wielder, mounted combatant, Mortal Kombat fatality.
Mortal Kombat. martial arts, whatever.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Fate is fun, everybody. All right,
Yeah.
that brings it to the elves, who are going to try and help. They are turning the tide thanks to all of your help. Try and mop up some of these foul creatures, and they succeed with a critical strike. You see that the elves quickly regroup, and it looks like they've abandoned you for a second, but then you just hear as what seems like 100 arrows just appear and just land into many of the Forces of Chaos, and you see just shafts breaking. You see the forces, these warriors and spellcasters just falling backwards from the impact of all these missiles that are slamming into them. And at this point, the Forces of Chaos are going to give in, which is an option that any character can do, yourselves included, if you think you're about to die, you can give in to go out on your terms and gain a fate point. So I'm just going to give myself a little fate point here. And they go out on their terms. So what happens is one of them, who is this rather strong-looking woman astride this heavily armored horse, she grabs a horn that is around her neck and just blows it. And she yells, "Retreat! Retreat! We did not expect such resistance. Fall back! Back into the woods!" And you see she's pointing at a sort of an area of this very thick thicket that has had a massive hole just punched in it thanks to one of the floating colored puzzle blocks. Not going to name any legally distinct floating puzzle color blocks. And she like ushers her forces to move back this way, and as they all leaving, she looks back at the three of you and she says, "Who are you three meant to be? You're not elves."
Nope.
Really?
"Wait, you're the princess." "We'll meet again, princess." And she goes,
Can I throw the normal sword? Okay, she's gone.
"You can throw it if you want it as a parting
I'm
gift."
gonna throw it. Yes.
Okay, you throw the normal sword, it just lands on the ground and breaks.
Oh.
That was
But-
another sword.
Even though the battle ended with a bit of a thud, you suddenly all hear another legally distinct tune. And you see your XP bars fill up. You see that various loot around the battlefield is covered by the elves. And you seem to have won a victory on this day. And the elves turn to you, and they one of them bows down towards you and says, "My thanks, princess. You came at a time where we just needed you, but I have to ask, how did you get here?"
Well, we just walked. Well, I was on a horse, but yeah, the wall's gone.
Now, do you know who put that wall there? Because this was no elven magic.
See, we thought it was elven magic that was all corrupted by what'd you call it? And I look back towards the scientist.
The scientist says, "The force is the Maya, and the things they create are rift bleeds. They feed into the Maya tempest. At the center, we need to stop it."
Bad stuff happened and your wall got messed up. But we broke it with the sky.
The elf kind of looks at you and says, "A fairy? We have not seen any of your kind here for a long time. Welcome. It is a true honor." And they look down and see the corgi and go, "Oh, look at the fuzzy face, look at the fuzzy face." And they just start, like, stroking you.
I'm actually like I'm putting up a show of like, fine, but I'm just like, oh yes, this is good.
The pets are pretty
this is good, Scritchies.
Yeah, and this sort of leader elf looks around to the wounded and says, get them to the apothecary healer. Ooh, pop that wall right now. We don't know if they're going to make a counterattack. And they say, why are you here? Is there something we can do for you? We heard the news. Apparently there was an attack on the castle.
Yes, my parents were taken, and now we're looking for the Oracle, because hopefully she has some answers.
You have my deepest condolences for the loss of your parents. We can help you. The Oracle knows much and should be able to help you. And you are all, of course, friends of Elfwood. We would be happy to allow you to stay here and rest and recover and equip you with whatever you need for the journey ahead.
Do you have bacon?
The elf kind of cocks their head and says, no, we have a vegetarian lifestyle here.
Okay, cool. Can I try some of that food?
Certainly, I'm sure there'll be a feast in your honor. And within seconds, there are some people who are sort of fixing up barricades up at the walls. There are some elven druids who are growing trees to patch up some of the holes in this place and fix old structures. There's also some elven waiters of some kind that just come out with just big old platters of food and just kind of start putting them on a table, and soon this entire spread ready within seconds.
Oh, that's
And
efficient.
some of the elves start, chowing down.
Does it seem like anyone here is up, awake?
It's difficult to tell. You think that there's nothing that has really stuck out to you so far, but also you've noticed that some people seem to have a different degree of awakening. So there might be some people here who are a little bit more there than some of the other elves who just seem to be going about their routine. You would need a more thorough investigation before you could really find out.
How many people have yelled about double jumping and jumping to us? That's a really good indication.
For some reason, the jumping tutorial seems to be geographical because you are not hearing it when you are here.
Yeah,
That
this
was
is
pretty.
probably
That was
a much more
basically the
advanced
starter village,
region.
I am so glad of that.
So you're here, there's food, you could go talk to the Oracle if you would like, but welcome to Elfwood. What does each of you start doing?
I am absolutely stuffing my face. Like,
Okay.
just the food, yes.
Every time you eat, you hear, "Blip." Did you lose any health in that fight?
Nope.
Then, yeah, you're good. You just keep eating for the sake of it. And it's delicious, just myriad flavors that you've never experienced before. And you're just on the table, just eating plate after plate after plate. And the elves don't mind, they got plenty of veggies that they can always bring out, and they seem fond of animals doing this kind of thing. What about the rest of you?
I'm gonna see if they have any neat flowers or flower seeds, because elf flowers sound cool.
Yeah, in this region, you notice that there are some gardens. Unfortunately, one of them got a bit squashed, but there are other kind of areas with flowers that have just a slightly different shape to them, a little more curved, a little more elegant, and you believe you have found some new flowers.
I'm gonna ask for one. Who's around? Who owns it?
There's one of these sort of horticulturists is there, desperately trying to fix the massive crater that now lies in this place. And you can see they're kind of working with their gloves, just arranging plants. And you ask them if you can have a flower. And when you immediately talk to them, they say, "Do you know that elf root stretches far down into the ground, and apparently it can form symbiotic connections with other plants?"
That's creepy. Can I have a flower?
They kind of seem to shake some kind of haze for a second and look at you and go, "A fairy. Hello."
Can I have a flower? That one, right there. I like that one. In the middle?
And they say, "It would be an honor to give you a flower." And they just start digging it up with their, gardening skill and immediately hand it to you. And bleep, it is now in your inventory.
Ew. What's it called?
It's called the Indigo Dream.
The Indigo Dream.
Ooh.
That's 2 names if we meet people who need them.
The elf kind of just smiles politely at that and then gets back to work. What about you, Bane?
I think Bane would immediately look for both a sword a cooler one. Just like upgrades people.
Sure.
Or like a swords person, someone who can like actually teach her how to do swords, because so far she's just been swinging, but that's worked for her so far.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
really well.
And if what the smith taught you, you have to just learn by doing. Funnily enough, the greatest swords people in this land still just kind of do this. That's their standard.
Yeah, I'm just
Does absurd damage somehow. Yeah, you can ask around, and you know that there is an elven artisan here, who is quite skilled at the art of sort of creating elven works, as it were. Everything in the store that you see just has the elven prefix.
Nice. Cool. So I'll go up to whoever they are. He or she, they, whatever.
So,
Who's that person?
yeah, it's this sort of youngish woman, like still for an elf at least quite young, who still seems incredibly skilled in this craft. A bit of a prodigy, it seems. And she sort of strokes some long hair out of her eyes to look at you for a second, and she says, "Princess, I had no idea you were coming. I was not informed I would." And she sort of just starts curtsying and then also bowing, not entirely sure what human customs are.
Nope, you're fine. Just Bane.
I don't know how to Bane. How does one Bane?
No, I'm Bane. That's my name now.
Oh,
I'm Bane.
apologies, Your Majesty.
No, okay. Bane. Your
Bane.
Majesty part, you can leave. Yeah, there we
Bane.
go. Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're great. I need a new sword, though.
Would you like a new sword? We can just
I'd
forget
love
that
a new
entire
sword.
awkward encounter, and I can give you a sword. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Here you
That
go,
sounds
Bane,
amazing.
and just you are granted an elven sword that is now a permanent part of your inventory.
Awesome. So ancient sword, elven sword, which is the cooler sword, or is it like
They-
reskinned again?
They share similar stats. Yeah, it's a bit of a reskin. Different shapes,
Okay,
though.
cool. Okay. I do my animation and walk out and say thank you.
You can say someone says, "Do you want some elven armor as well?"
I don't think I can, but you know what? We're gonna try. Because one of these days I'm gonna get this gown off. I
She-
swear.
Reaches for a nearby cupboard and into her hands pops this chainmail, and she says, "This is elven chain. It is light as a feather, but as strong as, well, why don't you see for yourself?" And she hands it over to you, and you have elven chain in your inventory, and you desperately try to equip it. You sort of put it awkwardly over your dress for a
Just
second,
over the dress.
and it just somehow just slides right down. Even over the massive bell shape of your dress, it just slides right down, like a towel that just fell off or something. And the artificer kind of looks down and goes, "Oh, that's never happened before. Sorry."
Happens every day for me.
I have to say, though, a princess that leaps into battle with a dress is very cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
She picks up the chain before someone steals it.
Yeah. Is there any other things that you might have that could help?
She says, "Let's see. I have some magic books, some scepters, some staves."
Magic seems pretty freaky right now. I think I'll just stick to stabbing things. Thank you, though.
As you will, Bane.
Yes.
It was a
Actually,
pleasure
wait,
meeting you.
Rosalind does magic, right? Have I seen her do that?
Yeah, she's got
She
magic.
might like. Yeah, she might like. What kind of magic is it?
Fairy magic.
Fairy. I mean, the book.
Oh, the
Are they
books.
fairy magic. That's really convenient.
She kind of looks at you. She says, "It's your standard elemental. We've got fire books. We've got nature books. We've got wind books."
She's always talking about plants, so she probably already knows nature, but couldn't hurt to get her. Can I see that book? How much does it cost? I don't have any money. But
She
maybe I
says
can-
5,000 GPs,
Oh,
Oh my god.
and she looks a bit just like awkward, like, "Sorry."
is there like something I can get for you? Like, do you like rat tails?
No, you kill rats?
Yeah, I killed a lot of rats. Yeah.
Oh. No. And she just slowly closes up her shop.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you later. Bye.
Pleasure
Thanks for
meeting
the
you.
sword.
All right. When the three of you reconvene, you kind of around the banquet table, chowing down, healing your wounds, because the only way to heal in this world is to sleep or eat. And you the sort of leader of the elves comes to you after overseeing a lot of the recovery and says, well, we celebrated our great heroes who came in our time of need. Again, you have our thanks, and the thanks of all the elf people. You said you wanted to see the Oracle. I'd be honored to lead you there.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
You bringing the scientist with you? You kind of leaving her to just do whatever?
Does she want to come? She said she was. Yeah, come on, scientist.
Yeah.
She sort of looks to you, face stuffed with some kind of, tomato salad, and she goes, and starts following you eagerly, still munching down on the food.
I am rolling myself along on my skateboard because I've definitely eaten too much.
Oh. At first, I was imagining you're standing on it. You're not standing on it. You're lying on it.
No, I am laying on it. Cute. That's really cute.
Incredible.
Oh no!
I am peak. Honestly, like the only grandchild after Thanksgiving, like that mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. So you are taken up a sort of spiral ramp, which somehow your skateboard goes up without any consideration of gravity. Somehow it just adapts perfectly. No momentum, nothing like that. You all kind of go up this massive spiral, and it's a huge tree that you are ascending. And you are led into this sort of bulb-shaped wooden top that is affixed to the center of this tree amongst the leaves. And you enter this place, and there's various crystals hanging from the ceiling. There's this beautiful basin filled with silvery water in the middle of this place. And it is beautifully tranquil. There are butterflies flying around. They're about 4 pixels big, but they're still really beautiful. There's an overwhelming sense of serenity and calm when you enter this place. And you can see that there is a beautiful elf here. She looks regal, like she might be the queen of these people. However, nobody seems to be really addressing her as such. They simply call her the Oracle. And when you come in, the scientist says, the Oracle, we can find out what's going on, And she kind of grabs you, princess, and starts shaking you a little bit.
Whoa, I need you to take it down like at least seven notches.
I'm sorry, but if I take it down 7, what if that 7 is as many as lets the world end? It'd be 6. Start with 6.
What are notches?
Like, just levels of chill, Rosalind. Like,
Oh!
You hear the first words the Oracle speaks is, I have 99 levels in chill. And she says, I know why you have come. Please, come here. Stand around the basin. Allow me to read your futures and see what lies in store for all of you. And she holds out her hands. And the leader elf is just like, oh.
yeah, Bane will walk up, just
So Bane's going first.
doing, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Bane, you grab the hands of the Oracle, and they're beautiful, silky, smooth hands. This girl moisturizes. And
We're gonna have to talk about that later. Like, share some tips here. This is amazing.
She sort of looks upwards, and then in a second, the entire lighting of the world changes. There is suddenly this pale blue light that envelops this world, and indeed even outside. And you can see the Oracle's head snaps up, and light spews from out of her eyes as she starts chanting an ancient elven language, reading poetry of the ages. And Bane, you are just standing there as you feel your entire life's tapestry rolled out before you. But there is something wrong. It is tattered, it is broken, it is all over the place. And you're not sure if it's meant to look like that. And the Oracle says to you, Princess, you are on a road for greatness. You will save your people and lead your people into a new age of peace and prosperity. But first, you must undertake a great journey, and you must do so alone. Failing this, you will only meet your only demise. Your own demise. And then suddenly the lighting in the world snaps back to normal, and you feel a little bit energized by that, Bane. And that's, the hint you were given for what it's worth.
I take it.
And the oracle goes, who is next?
Do I don't want future told? I just want to be told how to get home.
That is something I can do.
Okay.
All right. You clasp hands with the oracle.
How tall am I? Does my hand at this moment is my hand very, very tiny, or is it rather normal?
At this moment, it is hilariously tiny. You're kind of like fluttering up. I know. I just figured out what your wings are for. So you can't fly up or down, but no matter what size you are, you can always stay at the same height.
Yes.
So you can't fly, but you can fly. Anyway.
Yeah.
Your tiny little dainty hands grasp the hands of the oracle, and she enters that moment again of seeing the weave of fate. And she says to you, dear sweet Rosalind, you seek to go home, and there is a way for you to do this. However, soon there won't be much of a home left for you to return to unless this dreadful new force is stopped in its track.
Make the bad stuff go away and then go home. I'll just reorganize my internal list here.
She says, your magic and your heart will be instrumental in this battle. Trust in yourself.
Sure.
And the oracle's like, cool, great, all right. And just like, let's go.
99 levels in shell.
Yeah.
99 levels.
And
Rosalind has like 12 levels. She's pretty good at just being like, yeah, sure, whatever.
the oracle then finally turns to you, Tubes, and says, short one.
I waddle over.
You waddle on over. You kind of stand up on your hind legs and grab the oracle's hands, kind of sitting above the basin as well, so it's just like, don't drop me, please. And again,
Hell's like...
eyes snap up, the world shifts, you hear the wind roar, the butterflies change colors before your eyes, and the oracle says this to you, Stoobs. She says, oh great soul, inhabiting the body of one so squat. She says, you have to undertake an extremely perilous journey, but you don't have to do this alone. The world before you is in need of your help. And in order for you to help it, you have to follow the path of the Light-Sworn heroes. Only through following their footsteps can you unlock your true potential and the potential of those who follow you. You must follow them. You must do as they did. Learn of the things they saw. You must acquire what tools and knowledge they acquired, so you might grow strong. And when you grow strong, you will be able to save this world from its inevitable doom. And you pop out of it. And then she goes,
Not gonna lie.
excuse me 1 second. And she enters it again and says, the first place you need to go. And she kind of looks up into the sky, and the rest of you can see that there's sort of a shifting image of something that is rotating and spinning around. And she says, the first step on your journey after going to Elfwood, you must go to the Sunder Peak Mountains, home of the dwarves. That is where your path leads. And then he pops out of it. She says, sorry about that. Sometimes there's a bit of delay.
Why isn't their
everyone
town
thing?
called like Dwarfville? How come they get a real name?
She says, well, the Sunder Peak Mountains are just a place where the dwarves live. I believe Hammerton is the city of dwarves.
That's fair, and I'm okay with that. Although humans need to change their village name to
I mean,
Humanville.
it's Phantasria.
I'm cool with it.
Oh, you know, but you're cool with everything. You have 99 chill. I only have 12.
I certainly am. Is there anything else I can help you with, adventurers? The scientist kind of goes, hey, hi, me, next, hi, yes! And sort of leaps over, and you can see you determine at this point the scientist has no levels in skill. Grabs the oracle's hands, the spiel happens before you, and the oracle says, oh. Brained one, you are destined for many things, and not all of them good. It is up to you to help unite these people, but to do so, you must create a device that is going to bring a degree of ruin onto the world. Will you be able to live knowing what you did? And then snaps out of it, and the scientist goes, okay, don't know how to interpret that, but I'll write that down in my journal. And she just kind of like pops out a journal, starts scribbling some notes in it. Thank you for this. Very interesting. I'll be back later to determine how you do whatever it is you do. And she kind of like tuckers away behind Bane and just starts scribbling some notes.
Oh.
Well, that was a lot of information all at once.
Sure was.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice meeting all of you. Heading out.
Okay,
What?
that was really fast.
Bane's gonna walk out of this place. Heading
Uh,
off on my own. In that
Bane,
lonely trail.
are you sure that's okay?
You heard the lady. I have 2 swords. Oh, wait. I'm gonna leave one of my elven swords with them. You probably need this because, like, you guys don't stab things, and I don't want you to get hurt. You know?
Yeah, it's pointier than a stick.
Yeah, in our time together, I've grown, like, fondish of most of you. And I, like, am actively pointing away from the scientist.
The scientist like slowly leaning over, just like, Okay. You start to walk away then, Bane?
Yes.
All right. You get ready to embark on a journey that you don't necessarily know what its culmination will lead to, but according to the Oracle, this is what you need to do to save your people.
Gonna walk back in a little bit. Hi, so was that whole, like, go to where the dwarves are thing, is that for everyone? Is that, like, everyone's path will lead there, and then, like, we're back together, or do I need to go in, like, the opposite direction?
Your path is your own, princess. You must
But
trust
there's
your
no-
instincts.
There's no map, so she's just supposed to pick a direction and go.
Correct.
I'm chill with that.
That
Yeah.
doesn't seem.
It seems
Hey,
fine.
princess, is it okay if I make a quick suggestion for once you know you're in charge of the kingdom? Can you make like a map school? Can you just like get a bunch of people and train them in how to make maps?
Or
We can-
maybe in like bridge repair, too,
that
and tree removal, so people can actually
Can actually go
travel.
through things because why is
Yeah.
everything blocked? Every
And the,
path is always blocked.
The elf
See,
leader
there's
speaks
no-
up and says, "Yes, well, you're actually. If you could increase patrols just a lot, so there's not monsters everywhere all the time, that would be ideal as well."
See, there's this thing, it's like, where you're, like, you come for the royal family and you, like, ask about these things. That's when you ask for things. I'm just, like, chilling right now. Stabbing
approve.
things. Yeah, see? Once we get to 99 levels of chill with the world, then we can worry about bridges and maps.
Took me 1,000 years to gain 99 levels in chill.
That's a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It
all you have
is.
to do is wait for, like, when I'm in charge, right? That's what you said? Right?
For you, sometimes we need to get lost before we are found.
No, being lost is bad. You don't want to do that.
Oracle saying I do, though, so I don't know.
Okay, well, fine. Okay, have a good time getting lost in there. Maybe get a compass. Compasses exist, right?
Yes.
Are those real?
All the elves look at each other like, what?
Any compasses here?
Or
Oh,
I
wait,
don't
do
know,
you guys have, like, a map of, like, the woods, at least?
A map? Does it look like we're rolling in wealth?
It's paper.
Yeah.
It's paper. And then you write down where you go.
I'm
maybe
certain the
befriend
Light
a
Sworn
duck
heroes took the map.
or a bird or something. They always know where to go, kind of a thing.
Why is there only one map?
Anyway, I believe we are taking up a lot of the Oracle's time, so I'm going to usher everybody out. And the
Yeah.
Oracle's just like, no, I'm cool with it. But that's fine.
Are you
Bye.
upset that you don't have a
Oh,
name?
wait. Yeah, no.
I have a name. It is secret to me and those who are closest to me.
Can
Okay.
you- Yeah. Okay,
Okay, 'cause-
secrets are cool, but can you disclose your moisturizing treatment? Like, what's the regiment there?
Princess, if you save this world, I will give you the recipe personally.
That cool. I hop on my horse. So I gotta go save a world, and I think I'll probably see you guys later.
It was really nice to make
Yeah.
your acquaintance.
You
I hope
too.
you stay in one piece and, well, you're pretty good at what you do, so I think you'll be fine.
Those people seem to want to get you, so watch out for those people, says the scientist.
I'm pretty good at avoiding those people, I think. If I wasn't, my parents.
Looking at the
whole
data,
thing.
I'm going to say that's not true.
Well,
Wait, princess, here! Since you gave me your sword, you can have the stick. And I give her my stick.
You gain a +1 stick, princess.
nice. Or the sneak stabs. No one's gonna expect a stick. I'll just like stick it into my hair, I guess.
Lovely.
Are you really gonna leave the scientist with us?
I'm not taking her.
Okay.
Scientist is actually talking to the head elf of this place and says, do you have a fast travel place around here? And the head elf is like, I don't know what you mean. And you hear the oracle say, it's down the stairs to the left. And the scientist goes, great, thanks, and just starts running and disappears into a magic portal.
Well, that's a problem we don't have to deal with anymore.
Yeah, she's her own problem now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was lovely becoming friends. I hope in the future, when I try to make sure that the fairy village is not just by itself, we can talk about diplomacy stuff. Actually, probably the council should do that. I don't pay attention to the meetings. They say a lot of big words. Okay, that's all.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And I dagger away.
Dagger away. And with
Dagger
that,
away.
The princess rides off into the sunset. You can see that there is sort of just a massive imprint in the ground, and it's where the sun is shining through. It looks beautiful. It's a shame there's so much destruction there. But the princess is charging, forging her own path, making her own fate, trying to do whatever it is she needs to do to secure her future and the future of her people. I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're really going to miss her.
Yes.
And as this glorious, beautiful, incredible princess rides off into the distance, Stoobs and Rosalind are left getting ready to chart a course to the next destination, the Sunder Peak Mountains. What adventures will they get into? What trouble will they find? What other rifts will open up, and how else will this world get completely changed through their actions and the actions of others? To find out, you have to tune into the next episode of Awakened Pixels. Thank you very much, everybody. And that's the first episode.
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoyed it. We'll be back for more. We will get a new guest every week, probably. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be a blast. I'm really looking forward to see where the story goes, because in this session alone, a lot of weird things happened that I wasn't expecting, and I love it. Any news? Any announcements anybody needs to make?
I will, if no one else has a spiel, I will do my spiel.
Go for it, please.
Okay, so we have kind of moved on to the summer reading months and we're going into school. So, as you know, there's a lot of things that are up in the air right now about how school is going to be functioning and how libraries are going to be functioning. So if you can support those institutions to help kids have access to the internet, please do so. There's, charities in your neighborhoods. You can support your libraries to get Wi-Fi hotspots to help people have access when they can't go into the buildings, all sorts of things. So please help your local libraries, help your local schools, do what you can to help facilitate education in this weird time. We love you all. Support the institution, support the staff, respect the patrons. Please stay safe.
Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
Final thing before we go, music that we had tonight, little beats and boops that you heard, you hopefully heard. I don't know. I was doing tech. I don't know if the music works. But if you didn't hear the beats and boop, those are provided by the authors Eric Skiff, Roll Music, and Visiger from the Free Music Archive under the license, Creative Commons license CC BY. So thank you to them for that. Go check out their stuff. It's really good. We'll be back next time. Once again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be here same time next week with a new guest. It'll be very exciting. Don't miss it. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Have a good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and until next time.
Bye.
I was trying to think of a sign-off thing that's like video game, but I
Video
can't
game.
think of a video game thing.
In
Video games.
this
Title
isn't game
screen.
over.
Video game.
Video